What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6, the foreign national born natural, and we're here to get busy live and direct tonight. I do have a special guest. We will get to that in 1 minute. I gotta add something out real quick. Anybody who saw the post that I put up earlier this week, I gotta add this out so you already know what's coming. So, what I want to put you guys on point with, so nobody else goes into this situation and gets hemmed up. This gentleman right here is a scammer. This man right here, Lord Enlightened Luciferian Prince 7.7. All right. So as it goes, I already put the link up in the post up on my channel, and you guys probably saw it. So basically, I inquired to this man for a consultation. And the idea of the consultation was he was talking about something with taxes, which I had started to get into this year real heavy, starting to get into the tax information and stuff like that. So this gentleman was talking about a form I was interested in. So I said, all right, well, let me reach out to him. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. Let me help the brother out. So I went ahead and emailed him. And dude was like, yeah, I can't really divulge any information unless you do a consultation. So I said, all right, that's fine. Some people read books and stuff like that. And when they want to give information out, they want to be compensated for their time to research. Perfectly fine with me. How much is the consultation? I asked him. He says it was 220. No, his words were, it was I think he said 120 for the consultation and 100 for the knowledge. However, he broke it down. So I went ahead and I sent him what he asked for. Set the date for later on that evening. I'm sitting in front of the computer by myself. So I went ahead and said, what's going on? What's up with you? Oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. My bad. My alarm didn't go off, such and such. I said, all right, cool. Maybe it was an accident. No problem. I ain't gonna bite your head off on an accident. So he's like, all right, can you do another time, maybe in the AM? I said, well, I can't do in the AM tomorrow, but I can pretty much do, Sunday, such and such at Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. So it was no confusion about the time at all. So I also told him, he was like, well, leave me your number or whatever like that. I said, well, I don't give my number out, bro. I use StreamYard, right? Just like the post said. So he says, okay, that's no problem. 11 a.m., I'm looking at the computer again by myself. So this guy I reach out to this guy actually about 4 days later. Hopefully, he would hit me back or something. Maybe he went to jail or something like that. I don't know. But this guy hits me back like, yeah, I was waiting for you. I didn't see you there. Maybe you should keep your appointments and such and such. I'll give you back the 100, but I'm not giving you back the 120 or whatever like that because I'm gonna send you the information anyway. I'm like, yeah, no thanks, bro. Just send me my whole thing back right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a request via Cashapp. So I sent a request to somebody who looked like he said it was his wife or something like that. Denied. The request was denied on Cashapp, right? So the dude stopped responding via email. Sent another request via Cashapp. Denied and blocked. So now I'm blocked on Cashapp to get my refund for 220. I got no information, which I told him I don't want no damn information. Just send me my 220 because at this point, you basically scamming. No response. I got people reaching out to me. All right, other people that were involved with like situations like this. He got this one lady for $2,500. All right, 2,500 beans. He got this lady for. She basically paid him for a week of mentorship, which he kept putting off and putting off and putting off. He wanted half up front, and then he wanted half later. She paid him the half up front, which I wouldn't even have done for real. But she paid the half up front. She got no consultation at all. He sent her some information, but she didn't know how to apply it. So she said, well, I still need my consultation. So he goes into this whole gambit about how he's having a fight with his lady or something like that. And he got kicked out. He needed to find a new place. So he needs the other half in order to find a new place. Now, these are the kind of people we got running around this community. We got some scumbags running around in this community. Facts. And, looking at a man with tattoos like that, this man has tattoos all over his face. You know what I mean? Tattoos all over his hands. I don't judge people by tats and stuff like that because people get tattoos for different reasons. Some people get them because they in gangs. Some people get them because it's a body art expression. And not everybody that has tattoos are scumbags. So me seeing the tattoos, I looked past that and saw the knowledge, which I figured my man has to offer. Had none to offer whatsoever. The only knowledge he has to offer is the one that's free on his YouTube. So if you do intend on getting some knowledge from this gentleman, keep it limited to just looking at his YouTube. Don't give him a dime because this dude is a fraudster and a scammer. There's another guy who's supposed to be jumping on here a little later on too that says he has a story about this guy too. So that's three people. that he done scammed. All right. Now I'm not sure if he got anybody else in the community for any kind of funds or whatever, but please do not send this man any cheese if you intend on getting a result back. If you just want to donate, that's fine. I mean, because you don't expect to get nothing back from a donation anyway. But if you're supposed to be giving them cheese for a service, look the other way, in my opinion, because from what I've seen so far and people that have reached out to me, this dude's a ripoff. I mean, like I said, this knowledge, man, people seek knowledge because they want help or remedy for whatever situation they might be dealing with. Me personally, I just wanted to look deeper into it because I'm interested in looking into taxes as of right now. I got books and stuff I'm reading right now, so any other information I get is always welcome. But you don't. And my thing is, it's not even the 220 that I'm upset about. It's the fact that you knew you was wrong, right? Because that's why you blocked me. You knew you was wrong, and you still went ahead and correct and went on your path that you chose. You could have said, look, I ain't even got the 220 right now. I had to pay some bills. I had something to handle. You know what I mean? I ain't even got it right now, bro. As soon as I get it back, I will hit you back. I promise. But I ain't got it this second. That's fine with me. Because at that point, it's like, all right, dude's honest. Maybe he ran into a patch situation. Maybe dude's internet dropped out on him. He dropped his phone in the toilet. It happens. You know what I mean? That's what I figured. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. But when you flat out tell me maybe you should have been there for your appointment and then block me, like, bro, nah, yo. And I don't know if he knew who I was or not, but people gonna watch this. So I average about 300 views so far, which is laughable to what he has. He got about 7,000 subscribers. I got about almost 1,500. I ain't got nowhere near as much subscribers as he has, but this is gonna garner at least 300 views. Share this video with other people in this community so we can know to watch out for this dude because he's gonna catch other people the same way because he's one of them slick talkers. Dude's got a silver tongue and dude's getting over on people. So please share this video with other people. If you know this guy, if you see him posting any videos, make sure you let people know, ask him about consultations in his videos. That dude's a scammer and dude's a fraudster, and he owes so far from what I know over $2,700. So that's gonna be what it is. All right. So enough of the BS, enough of the garbage nonsense. I ain't want to get my man involved. All right, so you guys seen my man plenty of times. I've been talked about him hella times before. He's been a guest on the channel before. Dude's hilarious, dude's sharp, and man, he's always up to date. I kind of call him like my big brother when it comes to this stuff because I learn a lot from him. So without further ado, please welcome my man, Super Sly 75. What up, man?
Hey, what's happening? Hey, don't do me like that, brother.
Hey, man, I ain't going to front. Like, y'all learned a lot from you, man. You was always willing to reach out and help too, man. So I appreciate that a whole lot, man.
Yeah. Anytime.
Absolutely, man. So, man, look, I've been wanting to ask you, bro, what is your whole entire take on this Russia situation?
Okay, so Putin just killed the vax tax, right? The tax where they would add additional 20% if you want to purchase gold bullion, precious metal. So he killed that tax, right? And then it's like, okay, it's like Gaddafi all over again. It's like he has an open window to get the ruble back up to it's right now it's dirt cheap, right? So I was talking with my wife last week. I said we should buy some rubles, and lo and behold, 2 days ago he went and killed the vax tax. Now you have a bunch of other countries. It's called BRICS. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Korea. They're kind of like gang, right? But he doesn't have enough of them to upset NATO and all that good stuff. It's basically him versus NATO, right? And my thing is, don't focus on the war so much or the skirmish. Focus on how to make money off of this, because it's all it is a cash grab,
Yeah.
So for me out here in California, $5 a gallon of gas is nothing to us. We've been paying that for a year.
What?
Yeah. So, people are now getting $4.50, $4.75, $4.30 a gallon. I'm like, we've been paying $5 like it's nothing out here all day, every day for a year. So that to me, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
Respectively, my man. You live in Cali. Like, yo, one bedroom in Cali is like $6,000. Like, yo, what? You know what I mean? So, I mean, for dudes like us, you know what I mean? I live in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, for real. We was paying about, like, to be fair, about $3.75. for a minute. It's been a while. 350, 325. It hovers around that time when Obama was in office. We was up almost damn near $4 a gallon, but it's really high here right now. You know what I mean? But like we ain't getting it like y'all out Cali, because I know they had to match the cost of living with the pay out there, correct?
Yeah, but
yeah. So I mean, it really didn't hit you guys as hard as it's hitting everybody else, because people the fees of living are going up, but the jobs are still paying the same for people who work jobs, not for people who run businesses.
And
So I mean, I feel you on that though.
No, and it's even worse when you hit the desert. You'll see $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon, because when you hit the desert, it's right before you get to Nevada or Arizona, and that's a long stretch of highway, and God forbid you run out of gas.
Oh my gosh, you finished.
But I tell people, situations like this, find out how to make money off this. If you have some stocks, buy some stocks in Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, whoever, anybody that has anything to do with war, buy stocks and you'll be seeing dividends. I think for us as a people, we don't see opportunities in things that like this. Of course, everything's going to go up. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
But
the dollar was made to decompose pretty much.
Yeah, and as far as like the Putin China or Russia China situation, China is an opportunist. China doesn't give a fuck about anybody but China.
Oh
so
yeah,
right. So if it makes sense for China to get next to Putin, then they'll do it. But at the end of the day, they're like locusts, man. They'll just go where the opportunity is best for them. Yeah. So, but Putin doesn't have enough to really hurt NATO. You're talking 30, 40 countries, man. Like, your arms are too short. He can make some noise for now. Do I think he'll get the Ukraine back? Eventually, yeah. It's got to come back home.
Yeah.
Plus it's a strategic, a highly strategic point. They got the ports to the Black Sea, so of course Russia wants access to the waters and stuff like that. So he's kind of waging a one-man gang. He's got countries behind him, but not enough to. It's fucking NATO, dog. You're not gonna. And then there was a company that just bought some Russian gas and oil from them, but you're supposed to have sanctions against Russia. So which one is it? Yeah.
It's dude. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like I didn't heard so many different stories. I didn't heard somebody say that there was a lot of corruption going on in Ukraine, and Putin attacked Ukraine to destroy the cabal's headquarters. I didn't seen soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, throwing documents in fires. I've seen that, like burning documents. Like, why are you throwing them in the fire, bro? And it's like, I mean, that don't look right to me, But I don't know what the procedure is when you're getting taken over by another country. Maybe that's standard procedure. Maybe other countries that you're in bed with don't want their information given out to the invading country. I don't know what the procedure is with that, but that looks suspicious. Well, I've seen Ukrainian soldiers holding cardboard cutout guns. I've seen. Hey, matter of fact, let me show you another thing I've seen, man. I've seen video footage that looks like almost like a Mad TV skit. Let me show you what I'm talking about here with this. This was on Instagram. Look at this, man. What's your thoughts on this?
People killed, at least 149 people wounded. Those numbers are going to go up. There's just no question about that. I mean, you have a number of locations around the country. You mentioned
see the cameraman trying to get away.
Quickly overtaking that area where they're in control. The other thing that went down today that was of huge importance was Russian paratroopers went into an airfield 15 miles outside of Kyiv, and for a short period of time.
So at this point, man, it's like, to me, it's comedy, man. Like, yo, what is that? You know what I mean? So stuff like this is happening, and I always said when they do stuff like this, it's almost like they gotta kind of show you the truth, for the illusion to continue to work. But if you're distracted and you're not or paying attention to what's happening, I don't know, man. Who knows? But I just thought that was weird. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
You never saw that. Damn. I'm telling you, I think the whole thing is a psyop, dude. No. Here's what I've heard though. In Canada, right? Trudeau has gotten regained power over Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I heard. Now, here's the thing, though. They quietly instituted the digital currency, and they got rid of all the ATMs in a certain part of Canada, I've heard. So the whole thing with Russia might be to get you to look over here. Why they do this little stuff over here, get the infrastructure set up for the electric city.
Yeah,
or everything's digital. There's no dollar bills, none of that. Everything's digital. You know what I mean? So I kind of believe right now that might be what's happening. What you're saying makes sense though about the whole entire position with Russia and all that stuff. I'm not sure, dude. I don't know what to believe anymore. You know?
Yeah, and plus those Baltic states are always fighting with each other. Like that's some of that stuff is like ancient blood feuds that, you know.
Yeah.
But then, you know, with the Canada removing the ATMs, you also remember the FBI has started its own cryptocurrency gang unit.
Yeah.
So it's coming. The regulations are coming. You know, it's like get all the money you can now, because when we put these things in place, now what can you do with the money?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's gonna be just like back in the day when they took all the gold and silver out of the economy, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back and say this. And I've been telling people for a while, man. Start collecting gold, start collecting silver, man. Get your hands on it. You know what
remember
I mean?
all those idiots that was the gold rush. Everyone's buy, sell your gold, and everyone just chucked all their gold and went to these, you know, to the Arab stores and sold it for dirt cheap. Now you're like, yeah, you wish you had that gold now, don't you?
Precisely. Yeah, that whole buyback gold thing where gold was up and people were selling it. I was like, yeah, that's retarded to me.
Yeah.
Like for me, the idea of giving somebody gold for fiat, you're giving somebody something that has substance and worth and value for something that's not backed by anything. That just never sat well with me.
Yeah.
So with the whole thing, unless you like, you got to feed your family or something, which is a whole different thing. But
yeah.
For me, it's like, yo, if you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be collecting gold and silver, you should be holding on to it. If you want to do private sales in the future, if the dollar bill has no worth at that point, private sales might have to be done with gold and silver. They're non-taxable. I mean, the government is not able to tax gold and silver as far as I know. So, yeah. Interesting thing. Let me go back to the comments and see what we're looking at. What's up, Joel? How you feeling, man? My man got the orange suit on. That my man doing, what's that, community service work? What's going on there? What's up, Alex? What's going on with you? Jessica Martin. I figured such with him. Once I heard your story, I quickly unsubscribed. Yeah, man, that dude is. And you know, I've heard stories about people doing stuff like that, but I mean, you know, this community is based around truth, and we're based around dispelling illusions and lies. And when you get involved with the community and you start doing the opposite, you preach one thing, but behind the scenes you're doing another. That's completely sideways. And my thing is like, yo, just be honest. You know what I mean? If you can't do it for whatever reason, just be honest. You know, I respected that more. You know, but you know what it is. I'm late. Does that little guy so status correction? At this point, I have no idea. I don't know. He did a video Friday on some lame reason why he's unavailable to clients, basically blaming the clients. Of course, it's always everybody else's fault. What's up, Necessary Evil? She says, what's up, Super Sly? Big Pontiac, greetings, power people. My man, what's good? Good to see you here. Our government buys 50 million barrels of oil for Russia a month. Yeah. And they were saying, well, what? That's why the gasoline is getting high. The gas is getting, petroleum is getting expensive. But I mean, there's a book called my cousin was telling me about this book, and he actually schooled me because he was like, yo, there's a book you need to read called the Learned Elders of Zion or something like that.
Yes, yes, that's a great book. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I haven't gotten a chance to get around to reading that one yet, but he was saying that, yo, the amount of oil that's in the ground is limitless. And like there's no limit to how much oil's in the ground. They're basically making it seem such ways so they can use it to push their agendas.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going back to a book like that, I mean, that could also be part of the reason that they're playing all this stuff into it. So, you know, that's something else to think about. But of course, just because it's in the book don't make it always true. But, you know, they were destroying the bioweapons lab. Somebody said that too. Somebody said that they were destroying the Cabal's bioweapons lab. I don't know about that. I'm not sure, man, but it's a whole lot of theories floating. Somebody said it was a child trafficking lab. I heard a lot of stories. I'm just not sure which of them is real. TikTok has videos, same thing as video games footage. You know, I saw a video that they were saying actually happened, Sly, in Russia. And it was actually it was basically spliced with a Star Wars movie clip. I don't actually have it right now. I could probably find it on YouTube. But it was supposed to be the war in Russia. They were showing the destroyed towns and stuff. Yeah. And then they were doing a rundown, like a quick glimpse of like a Star Wars scene where like a stormtrooper was laying against a broken starship or something.
That's funny.
It's like, yo, why is all this necessary if this stuff is actually happening the way it is? You know what I mean?
Well, and then on top of that, you know, if you're going to invade somebody's country, you would dismantle or attack the communications. You know, cell phones, radio, all that stuff, all that shit is still functioning. So what kind of invasion Do you not, try to cripple the person, the group or the country you're trying? I think this is a good thing that people are finally starting to finally be like, you know what? This doesn't sound like a real war.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And check this out. I saw a video where this guy posted a clip where it was supposed to be like a camera in a clock tower or something. It was showing an overview of the city.
Yeah, I seen that one.
You saw that one,
yes.
where it was sounding off the alarm and everything.
Yeah.
But people were still walking around and there was still traffic. People, I don't know, man. I seen so many videos. I heard so many theories. It's hard to know what to believe at this point.
Right.
I will say this though. They're not telling you the whole truth, as they never do. Exactly. What's up, Greg Deep? So Sly, we don't need to be prepared for chaos to break out here, food shortages, etc.
Where? Everybody eating good, right? Red Lobster is still open. Who we kidding? Ruth Chris Steakhouse is still open. Yeah, Joe Morton's.
I mean, that's a good point, man. Look around you, man. Here's what I say. All right, this is what I'm gonna say. Shit can happen because we did see the whole C19 thing, which we never thought in our wildest dreams it would happen the way it did. If you would have told me C19 thing would have happened to the degree it did in 2016, I would have thought you was crazy.
Right.
If you'd have told me people are literally going to be in the house, not coming outside because they're afraid to breathe imaginary death air, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah.
So, to me, I would worry more about an electromagnetic pulse. Because I mean, to destroy and re-roll out new infrastructure, you got to shut shit down. So the fastest way for that to happen would be to blame a electronic shortage or electronic outage or something, power outage on another country. China and Russia are destroying the power grid, and United States of America, whatever, and then half the grid be showed down in the map or whatever like that. You know how they do in Hollywood. But I mean, this could realistically happen, I suppose. So I would say definitely still prepared, because it's better to be prepared than to not be prepared.
Yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, you should always, have your beans and rice, your bug out bag. You should practice, drills, things of that nature. But to your point with the EMPs, look how we get when the cable goes out for a couple hours. People lose their shits. Yep. So yeah, should you have a firearm? Should you go to the range and practice tactical drills? Yeah, you should do all that.
Yes.
The majority of people don't. Those that do, they've been doing it. Either you're gonna kind of fall in line and start practicing and prepping, or you're not.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Or you can do like my man Sly, be pumping iron. My man be lifting.
All that pumping iron shit don't mean nothing when it's time to,
it's time to get busy. That cardio, but you're gonna be doing a lot of walking and running, man. Yes, sir, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I agree with him though, man. Yeah, everybody should be learning how to work arms. You should be on the range. You should be at least running a little bit, walking. At least go outside and walk. You know what I mean? Get your cardio up and get your body right. So if something goes down and hits the fan, you can be able to move around accordingly.
Well, think about it. The average American is not physically prepared to do anything that requires running, jumping, hiking a long distance. The average American is, somewhat overweight. And if shit hits the fan, you can't run a mile with a rucksack if need be, or, hike 3-4 miles. And a lot of people wouldn't make it, honestly, but, I mean, now's always a good time to start. But for the average American, they talk a good game, but they're not really ready to get down when the shit gets down like that. So,
yeah, they were showing the guys that were, in the little, they got their little camp set up in the woods and stuff like that, 2A guys, which I respect it, but they were calling them the gravy seals, because a lot of the dudes had guts and all that stuff. I was like, yo, the gravy seals, real talk.
That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful. Hey, but look, back to what my man was saying. You know how people get when the power go out. I remember back in the day in indigenous or so-called black communities or whatever. I remember people when the power would go out, you would see all the black people, quote unquote, would get outside to their front doors and look around. People would just go outside and start talking. Literally, it'd be the whole neighborhood would be out on their front lawns talking to each other.
Yeah,
it was awesome. But hey, I agree with my man though. When the power goes out, people start changing. Now more so even because I've heard people. I've heard people being depressed because their internet doesn't work and they can't get on social media and tweet or whatever. It's a real thing, man.
Yeah, the psyche of people is just intertwined with the digital. I mean, you talk transhumanism, we're already there. Yeah, let the phone, let the IG go down, let the Twitter go down, let the Facebook go down. Yeah, you already see the effect. So the transhumanism thing is already here. I think people were so caught up in like actually merging, putting chips in your brains. I mean, you're already pretty much chipped to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Like, I tell people, like, yo, you already got your phone. They don't even need to like bug you anymore. They really just have your phone.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I think they're trying to push further though, because it's like at the end of the day, if you wanted to have a private combo, you can just leave your phone somewhere and go talk to somebody without the phone.
Yeah.
They probably even got shit to listen to you that way.
I mean, yeah, Alexa, she doesn't turn off when you tell her to turn off. She's just always
Precisely.
just chilling, like, yeah, I remember one time me and a wife, we had an argument, and one of us raised our voice, and Alexa was like, "Do you need help?"
Oh
Like,
shit!
it's her Alexa, so it asks her, "Ma'am, do you need help or do you need authorities?" And I'm like, "Bitch,
yeah, that's
you
scary,
listening?"
man.
Yeah,
That's scary. Yeah.
bugged out.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I tossed my I used to have a Google what the hell was it called? Something, whatever the hell that little speaker thing is.
Yeah.
I thought it was dope at first, yo. This is back when I was younger. I was like 2015 with that. I'm like, yo, this shit hard.
Yeah.
I can get recipes off this joint. I can find out what the nearest whatever is. This is dope, yo. I ain't even gotta get my ass off the couch. I can just ask a question. If I leave my phone across the room and it's listening.
Yeah.
One day, motherfucker, that shit. I was having a conversation one day, bro, in the other room. And I wasn't even talking loud. And that shit was like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I was like, nah, yo. I unplugged that motherfucker and tossed that shit so far in the trash. That was crazy. I was like, nah, I'm good with that. That's a little too much, you know what I mean? And for what it's worth, though, all these electronics we have around us are always listening, but Jessica Martin, she laughing. My man, Big Pontiac, the Eastern Black Mafia in Ukraine is strong. That's partly why the Russian attack. The Black Mafia, huh? Block Mafia. You said Block Mafia? I'm sorry, I misread that. Greg Deep says 1,000 years. I'm not sure what that means. 1,900 an ounce is worth it. Okay. I said the same thing. The Russian war may be a huge distraction. I'm telling you, man. Listen. Hey, don't be surprised if you turn around and ATM's going. Like, what the fuck happened? We was worried about Putin the whole time and the damn ATM going.
Yeah.
Craziness. Ukraine was the hub for all money laundering. See, I heard this too, child trafficking and the banking fraud. You see what I'm talking about? I get so many stories from people, man. It's hard to know which what, you know what I mean? It's hard to know what's what. Yosef, what's up? What's up, Yosef? You'll say, hey, Six, what's going on with you, man? It's for the sleepers to see corruption. We behind like hell. I agree. Kimberly Salinas. I emailed you the video. All right, cool. I'll look at it. I can't look at it right now. What up, Tony? My man Tony in the house. What up, Tony? Tony's a fan favorite, man. This guy right here got the sauce.
All right.
Her grandmother got rid of hers after she heard the neighbor's conversation. What? Wait. Hold on. We ain't gonna gloss over that. You mean to tell me she could hear the neighbor's conversation through the Google voice? Is that what you're telling me? Please, you gotta say something. You can't leave me hanging like that. That's wild. 1,000 years of war in East Europe. Okay, got you. Yeah. I need to know what's going on with that. Is that what's taking place? Are we listening to people's conversations through them? That's wild.
I mean, it's to the point where people buy the Nest so it can automatically adjust their climate in their homes. Like, how lazy can you get at this point? For the sake of convenience. I get convenience is one thing, but now you just turned into, the fat people on the ship in the movie WALL-E. Like, you don't want to do shit at this point, So yeah, that shit's crazy. It's crazy.
She said it was through Alexa. Wow, that is crazy. That's a new one. I've never heard that before. Wow. Yeah, so that's crazy. Another thing I want to ask you about, man. Okay, so we talked about the certificate of live birth, which was what it's called here, authentication. I'm having a lot of people saying that the United States Corporation doesn't authenticate those birth certificates anymore. You said you had yours done a while back. Am I not mistaken, right?
So my story, I try to do it. So there's 3 levels: state, county, state, federal.
Right.
So when I was doing it by myself, I got stopped at the state level because it'll ask you for whatever reasons, and they'll deny you due to fraud. The apostille part of it, right? You're trying to get the seals from the state, and every time the state will reject it based on fraud or deception. So I found an express service, an authentication, the service that will, do it for you for, whatever money it would cost. So you go to Vital Check, you get your, the official copy of your birth certificate, you mail it into them, and then what they'll do is basically get it stamped at the levels it needs to be stamped for you for the fee, whatever the case may be. And I'm not sure if John Kerry still does it, but mine has John Kerry's signature, his stamp. So when you get it, you get the state, or the county, and then the state has its official seal of it, and then the federals, it's like a yellow, it's a weighted carbon paper, what I'm saying, the weighted paper, the heavy kind. Got all the stamps on this shit, and then John Kerry has his signature, and then they bind it, and it's a beautiful package.
Yeah, like when I saw yours, man.
Yeah, so when I present this shit to people, they're like, "Oh my god, what is this? This looks so yeah, bitch, don't fuck this shit up." Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but the only downside was, you had to pick a country. Mm-hmm. Right. So, okay, I'm in the whole Moorish thing at the time. I'm like, okay, Morocco is this, like Morocco, just because. And okay, they gave it to me, but I had to go through that service to do it. On your own, state-wise, for me, they're going to block it every time. And if you do it too many times, they're going to report you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. I honestly, like, I had people saying that they were having trouble for whatever reason. But I mean, I had a few people say, yeah, they were offering to not authenticate, but what's the other one? Apostille, I think is what it was. It was like, yeah, you don't want the apostille, you want the authentication. So it was an issue for some people. Now there was rumors that the address had actually changed to where you would get it authenticated at too. So you did yours in DC, was it?
So
they actually sent it. You sent it to the company, and they sent it to DC, correct?
They would have couriers. They got access to all the places where it would get. They would have to get it done for you, basically. So they were out of. Yeah, I think they were out of. Let me find the information so that way I'm not telling you the wrong information.
I know. I reached out to the company you had referred me to, and it was like, yeah, we can't do it. And I was like, why not? It was like, because I at the time I didn't know nothing, so I'm like, yeah, where you plan on going? I said nowhere. So we can't do it for you.
Really?
And me not knowing anything, I didn't know. Maybe they changed their policies though, man.
I'll send you who I went through, but they're called Express Document Authentication Service. They're based out of DC.
Okay.
And I'll send you the information. But these are the people I don't even know how I came across them, to be honest with you, because I was on my 3rd try at the state level, and they just like fraud, deception, fraud. I was like, ain't this about a bitch? They are not. I'm not trying to deter anybody. I mean, if you want it bad enough, you'll press through, but you're just not gonna give that shit out free willy-nilly.
Hell no.
So yeah.
There you have it. Yep. So anybody that was having trouble, Express Document Authentication Service.
Yeah, the number is 202-223-8823. I'm going to send you the screenshot now. That way you got it.
Bet. All right, my man Tony says, electronics in your homes are now Big Brother. Watch Enemy of the State. I gotta watch that movie. Federal Rule 44, the last authentication, hard to get. They picked Jamaica. Yeah, a lot of people pick Jamaica. Mine is county and state authenticated. The Fed's authentication is the hardest. Can individuals born in DC correct their status? I saw something online that said individuals born in DC are statutory U.S. citizen. Ouch. And are not protected by the Constitution. Well, here's the thing, all right? That's a really tricky question, because I've actually heard that DC itself is only exists on paper. So half of, like, quote unquote DC is Maryland, and the other half is Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically took some of both both states in order to form itself. So under that, I would probably think that if you are not claiming a U.S. citizen for real, you would fall back on the land. If it makes sense to me, I know my man Bad Wolf. He actually has a way that you can actually do it if you haven't lived in DC for 7 years or something like that, where you can actually change your status accordingly. Which I'm not sure about. You might want to reach out to Bad Wolf about that one. But yeah, he actually is very familiar with it. He helped a few people that were from DC. What about you? You know anything about that, Sly?
I knew DC was different, but I didn't realize it was that different. I mean, I don't have an answer. I couldn't for the life of me tell you that.
That sounds tricky to me, definitely. And I just went to DC Tuesday, and anybody who saw that post too, I went down there to go to the Library of Congress. So while I was down there, it was listen, we was. Let's just say this, all right. Me and my mans was down there, right? We ended the whole entire status thing.
Yeah.
We down there, and I'm traveling down there in the whip. Private plates on the joint, right? So we headed down that joint, dude. We had to pass at least 120 police. There was everywhere. It was like, yo, you know what I mean? And where we come from, police being posted up is not a good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So these mofos was everywhere, but it was like normal that they was just posted on corners in their cars. You would have 6 cop cars at a light, and they got those stupid ass lights in DC where the lights are on to the far right.
Yeah.
So it's easy to run them. It's just a mess, man. So we down there the whole time. I'm like, man, we need to hurry up and get to the library. I mean, it's gonna get a little hot in here. And it would keep in mind it was 30 degrees outside. So we get down there, man, and it was military everywhere, bro. Literally, the army was ground level all over the place. And so the military is still in DC right now. And I thought it was very unusual because I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? They've been there since January 6th when the PSYOP happened with people raiding the Capitol, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And around the Capitol building, that big fence is still there.
Still there.
So we got army, what is it? They're not tanks. What are they called? Humvees or whatever they are. They had them joints down
APVs,
there.
The armored personnel carriers.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. They had those. They had the troops all over the place. Now the troops weren't holding arms and walking around. They were at pretty much at ease. They were talking to each other, just relaxing. But I'm not mistaken. It says in the Constitution, a standing army is dangerous to the republic. I'm pretty sure it says that, and these motherfuckers are everywhere. So I'm like, all right, so we just don't even give a fuck about the Constitution no more. Is that what's happening right now? Unless the only reason it would make sense is if there was some kind of opposition there, which made me start thinking yo, there's some shit going on here they're not telling us about because the military's here. And it's like, yo, if this was a time of peace, they wouldn't be allowed to be here. So either A, they don't give a shit about the Constitution anymore, or B, this is not a time of peace. There's actually a war going on. They're hiding from people. So they were all over the place, and a lot of people that are walking, you can really tell the agents that were walking around. They think they're conspicuous, but they're inconspicuous.
No, they're so stiff. It's not even funny.
It's ridiculous. It was a few people walking. I'm like, agent. I didn't say that, but I'm looking like agent.
Yeah.
College student, agent. You know what I mean? It was like that. So we walk down the spot or whatever. We walk around. Now we couldn't even get in the damn library because apparently now you got to have an appointment to even get in.
Really?
So you can't even go in a public library anymore and do research. It said because of the C-19 thing, you need to you have to make an appointment in order to come in because we were going to go in there. We were going to go ham on the books.
Right.
So, cameras on every government building. There's a camera on the corner and they don't hide them. They're right there. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of hidden ones too, but the big ones on the edge of the buildings, those are just looking all over the place. Don't remember those being down there the times I was down there. Again, the Capitol Hill building is still blocked off. They got extra security at the Library of Congress now, and they only letting people in through appointment. It was interesting. So we headed back or whatever. We rode past a bunch of police with the private place. They didn't even give a shit. So they obviously had better stuff to do. You know what I mean? Than bother people for stupid stuff like that. So it was an experience, man. I don't know if you've ever been to DC before. You've been to DC before?
I've been many moons ago, but nothing like what you described. My brother's back and forth between Philly and DC, and he tells me stuff, but he's an attorney, so I'm just like, well, okay, but he kind of keeps me abreast on things that's going on up in DC. So it's what are you gonna do?
Listen, bro. I didn't heard stories from dudes that I talked to. That one guy, he said his dad actually was ex-military, and he helped build something underneath the DC city itself.
Okay.
So there's a whole, I'm pretty sure you know this, but there's a whole, for anybody that doesn't know, there's a whole city underneath Washington, D.C. Like literally.
Yeah.
They've got tunnels, highways, anything you can think of.
Yeah.
Under there they have. And, you know, only you got to have a clearance, a military clearance to be down there. But he was like, him and his dad were under there for some, because he's ex-military too. Mm-hmm. But him and his dad were under there or whatever like that. And then, you know, it's a whole city underneath it. So that was very interesting, man.
You know, the weird thing, that's like one of my few regrets in life is I didn't join the military because that way of thinking of how you process stuff, right? I can respect that. And then seeing how things work on the other side, you know, so like, how can I say this? Okay, so like I shouldn't say everybody should go to jail. But going to prison gives you a whole different insight on how the justice system really works. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? There's things that I guess me going to prison kind of like, it's like, oh, this is how it really works. Oh, this is what that means. You know what I'm saying? Things I probably would have not known or ever learned had I not ever been behind the wall. You know what I'm saying? So, because I know there's some guys locked up that can match any attorney, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You know, word for word as far as the legalese and the processes and motions and stuff like that. But the military is because it's so entrenched in everything, you know, and it's just like I'd have been head first in that all that dumb shit, you know. I just know me. I'm like, how far can I take this? Right. And it's just a way of thinking that you know what? Okay, how would a military guy approach this? You know, it's just a different way of thinking that I respect. That I'm like, you know what? I wonder how they would approach this. You know, so that's
Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean. Yeah, they have a very uniform way of thinking in terms of like the straightforward. I have a lot of relatives that were ex-military, and it's very interesting to listen to how they think about certain things. I will say that.
Yeah, right.
I talked to a police officer, and it's always interesting talking to police officers, man. It was like 2 weeks ago, and I talked to you guys about this last time. I don't know if Sly saw the video or not.
I talked to this guy. I still gotta chop that up and
intersected. Listen, man, I watched this video, man. I talked to this guy, rather, and this guy was saying that he was like, I don't think anybody should have guns but the police. He literally said this out of his mouth. Jeez. So my coach goes back and says, I don't think police officers should have qualified immunity. He lost his shit. Mm-hmm. He was like, what? What do you mean? Like, y'all, it's just amazing how to be on the other side and the way they think, you know what I mean, as opposed to how we think. The side you're on greatly influences the way you see things. And I don't think that's necessarily always a good thing, because I always think it's important to listen to somebody else's point of view, because you compare it with your own as opposed to what you call facts, and that's how you get a good answer. That's what I always felt like anyway. Yeah. So it's just interesting, man. You talk to military guys, you know, especially the ones that are higher rank, and you ask them questions and they give you their answer. And then you ask somebody who never went to the military about the same topic and, you know, who did research, and it's a completely different thing. Yeah. So it's like, somebody's lying. Yeah. Accidentally. Somebody's accidentally lying, right? Somebody capping is what they call it. Akira says, we already covered that. Keith says, Jamaica joined The Hague November 10th, 2021. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Keith. No, there's a lot of mofos asked out and don't even know it right now, yo. Yeah. Say it ain't so, yo.
That makes sense.
As to why, a lot of private trust just collapsed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy. It says, fuck it, Form 56. I will send that to the IRS one way or another. I will prevail in so many ways. Sky's the limit. Yeah, definitely. What is Bad Wolf's Instagram? I don't even know that Bad Wolf even gets on Instagram, honestly. If he does, I've never seen him on Instagram. I couldn't say. I could tell you his YouTube is James C. Lovett. If you want to follow him, James C. Lovett. Lovett. Got some great information there. John Mello says, I'm sorry, it's pointless. I lost all my paperwork for moving and I could care less. Learn, trust, estate planning, administrate your own estate. You are the beneficiary. Good night, all you beautiful entities. Good night, John. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for chopping it up with us. Sky is not the limit. True. I get what you mean. It just sounds very discouraging at first. But I get what you mean, John. What up, Mac? 86 and A6 Grind Time and Super Slide 75. What's up, y'all? What's good, Mac? And there's a man, the myth, and the legend right here. James C. Lovett, Bad Wolf. Remember, DC is a foreign territory, not the USA, so Army can be there with permission. That's true. That's a great point. That's a great point. If we're going by the United States corporations laws and such, so that is absolutely right. But if we're talking about like common law back to all that stuff where the United States corporation don't exist, DC is nothing but Maryland and Virginia. You know, but of course the military is a foreign entity anyway, so that's a null point, I guess. Big cyber war going on right now. Break that down, studio. Break that down, man. Yeah, even hospitals are being targeted. Hey, look, hey, I ain't trying to hear nothing about no cyber wars until people get on that experience and that Equifax and give everybody 900 credit scores.
Yeah, I got some debts and arrearages. I need. Come on, wipe that shit out.
Y'all people always talk about this cyber. Like, listen, if you really want to fuck up everything, get on there and give all indigenous people a 900 credit score. See what happens.
There it is. There.
That fuck everything up, right? Everybody, for that matter. What's up, James? What's going on with you? Big Pontiac, yeah. Tasha XL makes an appointment in the Library of Congress on her channel. Okay, Tasha X. I guess that's, what is that, 11? Tasha 11.
Yeah.
I'm not good at Roman numerals. I should be, though. Yeah, I need to do that. So what I'll probably do is, if anybody lives in the DMV area or DC, Maryland, Virginia, whatever, I'll probably hit my email because I'm probably going to put together like a group trip where we all head down. So if y'all interested in that, let me know in the email. My email is right there in the comment section. And we can get down there and head to the Library of Congress. We can do some research, man, group research. Yes, also, you can get a non-citizen national passport as a citizen born in D.C. Takes a bit more info to add the explanatory statement. Really? They'll still let you get it, huh? I figured they would let you be a U.S. national. You know what I mean? Which is like a bootleg American national, kind of. Necessary evil. Some folks don't even know until the news tells them. That's facts. Oh, yeah. There's 7 seals. Whoa. 7 seals, Jimmy? Here comes Jimmy with the sauce. I know about the 3. We know about the county. All right. We know about the state, and we know about the federal. What's the other 4? What are we missing here?
And then the 4 on which documents. So is that a whole nother document to add to it? I mean, I know they change the rules every 5 to 7 years, but you know.
Yeah. James says always that Wolf. He always says when we move, they move. So like we'll do something and figure something out, and they'll change something or adjust something. It's basically a knowledge battle, game of chess. Washington, D.C. has its own constitution, and so if born there not directly under the USA Constitution, as D.C. is not a state of the union. That's facts. That's facts. It's just a convoluted clusterfuck, the whole thing. All right. No doubt. What's a piece of the Grand Architect of the Universe is the fan, Wolf. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, I want to talk to you about the industry also, Sly.
Yeah.
I know you were in the industry. You are. I'm sorry.
I'm still there, man. A&R for 26 records with Sony, so I'm still in it.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Dope. All right. As far as some of these rappers that are taking part, and I know there's only certain things that you can, there's certain ways you can move here. So, as far as artists that are taking part in like political, I don't want to say genders, political narratives. Let's say narratives, a great word. Yeah. Political narratives that are coming out. They always seem to be on the same side. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Cardi B, besides Kanye, but that's a whole nother story. I guess Cardi B is a great example. D.L. Hughley, who I cannot stand. There's a few other ones, not even just music artists, but as far as like celebrities go, is it really a script that they have to follow, or is it like the the image consultant telling them what to say?
A little bit of both. If they're big enough artists, I mean, Cardi B, she's probably the biggest female artist right now, and you never ever would ever fathom if you're someone's political manager, you would never have them talk to a rapper. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But Democrats are they function a little different. So they understand their base that they have to pander to. So who better than to get, and we exalt celebrities like nobody else's business. So we held them higher than, right there next to Jesus, if you're really going to get down to it.
That's fact.
So I can understand why they would get a Cardi to talk politics. And a certain demographic of our people eat it up, and they fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. So it works out for everybody. It works out for the artist. They fulfill an agenda, an obligation, and the political pundits gain traction or more support from, new constituents or old constituents to a certain extent. At the end of the day, it doesn't benefit Black folk like that.
No,
so yeah.
It never does. And I always find it interesting when they had these celebrities and, Hillary Clinton will go over there and do like a little whipping nay. She'll get votes. I always thought that was interesting, man. So I'm like, like guys like Roland Martin and such, pretty much obviously who have a hand up their ass in terms of being like a puppet. I always found it interesting. Go ahead. I wanted to hear.
No, I think the worst was Kamala Harris. Like,
oh my gosh. Oh, that was horrible.
That whole rollout, and then
bad.
it made the Divine Nine look y'all look crazy, like if you ever wanted to join a sorority, and y'all look crazy, like this is how you're gonna recruit future, generations. Like that was not the move to make. I think that was a bad look, but they got to toe the line.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I agree with that, man. Now, what about Kanye? Why is it that he's allowed to go so far off the rails? You know what I mean?
I'm so done with Kanye. Listen, I'm so done with Kanye. I don't know why they haven't got rid of him yet. Replaced him, removed. I don't know why they let him run rampant. I get it. He generates feelings, whether you for or against. Don't get it twisted. Like he's under somebody's thumb. It's like you let him go so far, and then you got to pull the reins back because, I'm so done with him. I am, bro. Like I don't feel bad for this dude. I don't. Whatever happens to him, I just don't give a fuck about him.
He said he just stopped caring, man. Yo, he when I saw there was a video that was on YouTube a while back. He might have pulled it by now. But there was a video on YouTube where it was him and Kim Kardashian sitting in a limo. And I never forget this video because it was a giant question mark over, like the Metal Gear Solid soldiers when you throw like a magazine and they hear the noise. It was like a giant question mark over my head after I saw it. So he's sitting in a limo with Kim Kardashian, and this dude is holding a plate in his hand. And Kim Kardashian is recording. And it looked like these are some rich fashion. I don't know what these do. These dudes look like they had money, though. And they look like they had like silk uniform outfits on or whatever. And they're eating the food off of the plate while he's holding the plate.
Yes.
And he's looking at Kim Kardashian like, why are you recording this? Please turn the camera off. He didn't say nothing, though. And she was just like, Kanye West and some eating, enjoying a meal, blah, blah, blah. He just sitting there holding it, looking real slavish. It looked really plantation-ish. You know what I mean? It looked terrible. I'll be honest. What was that about? Do you any idea? Because I never got an answer for that.
No. Listen, at that level in the game, you are. Oh my God, I couldn't. But
weird, yeah.
But if you understand the Kardashians, like people throw around the term witch, but that coven, they're a coven, and you just not no nigga's gonna just walk up in that family and not be under them or do some weird, you know what I'm saying? I have no answer for that. I remember the video because the other white dude's just like, he's like, yeah. I'm just like, this.
It looked terrible.
That was fucked up video.
It looked terrible.
Like I'll do you one better. People forget that the GQ or was it GQ or a Complex interview that Kylie and Travis Scott did together. It was a couples thing, right?
And Travis Scott, you said?
Yeah, right. And poor guy. I like Travis Scott. He just wants to be an artist, right? You come across people like that just generally want to be an artist, and they're the ones that's the most easily exploited because they just want to do their art. So they're in the interview, and they're asking about astrology, and he's like, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what my sign. She tells me everything. I was like, ah, damn it, there it is. There.
Oh shit.
He didn't even know his own astrological his own zodiac sign.
Shit.
So you got a kid. You got 2 kids with a woman that comes from a coven. You're done.
Yeah. They say that everybody has a handler, and if you go back to the Get Out thing, predictive programming, where you got the one lady who has the T, and you've got the Buck or whatever like that, and she's basically getting in his head. That's interesting because that could apply there. If we're talking about magic and things like this, which we know is true at this point, that could be a situation where dude could have been hypnotized or something. This could be a fact.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Get Out, because Jordan Peele, everybody knows Jordan Peele didn't get all deep till he got with that white woman, right? And then for those that understand what the monkey's paw is, that's they use that in old spells and rituals and shit like that. That's just not just, it's like a rabbit's foot, but 10 times more powerful than a rabbit's foot. So a monkey's paw is a real ingredient to spells and shit like that. So the fact that he named his production company Monkey Paw Productions, like I know it flies over a lot of people's heads, but yeah, Jordan Peele didn't get like this. And even when he was doing the Key and Peele comedy, he was nothing like this.
He's on another level now.
He got with that woman. She was like, look, this is what read some books, here's some notes, apply that into your new endeavors. He ain't been the same since.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as what he puts out to the public,
That's an interesting thing. I did not know anything about the monkey's paw.
Yeah. That's
I know the in 1803 shit. I know the 1804 it was. I know there was a lot of voodoo that was used by the Haitians to free themselves from the slavery from underneath. What was it? Was it the British?
The British, yeah.
It was the British first, and it was the Spanish, and then they basically beat the shit out of everybody. But they were using a lot of those spells and things to basically conjure up the strength to be able to take everybody out.
Right.
Which that stuff is real. Like people think that stuff's fake. You know what I mean? Like, you go somewhere and a witch doctor say you're gonna turn into a monkey, you better start eating bananas.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn into a monkey. But yeah, that 100%. I believe that the magic is 100% real, man. To be honest.
Yeah, like
go behind you. Go ahead.
Old school movie, Rainbow and the Serpent. When they actually went down to Jamaica because the zombies. So what the chemical that they process down there, it will shut everything down and kind of preserve you to a point where you don't breathe, your heart stops, and it'll bring you back, and you're like in this zombified state. It's an actual chemical that the CIA was sent the white boy down there to get his hands on. They found out what he was up to. They put the shit on him, and it kind of came back all kind of messed up. But that whole, it's a chemical, the powder that they use on the people. Yeah, so that movie told a lot. So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember one time I had saw the earthquake had happened in Haiti, and they basically, I still think that's messed up to this day when they showed the crane lifting all those bodies up, and even if it was fake, it looked fucked up.
They knew what they were
doing. Look at these
that.
stupid niggas. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
it was lifting the bodies up and shit, and it was moving the body because there was so many dead bodies from the earthquake. So there's a video that actually was on YouTube too. This video got pulled because I looked for it 2 years ago. It was gone. But there was actually a lady who was inside of a lab, not a lab, but what the hell was it? It was like a little building that they had. So they were supposed to have like medical staff that was there, doctors that had flew in to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady is basically saying doctors are rushing around the clock to try to save as many people as they can. They're working with limited supply. And she stopped mid-sentence and says, is this a jar of eyes? And the camera zoomed in on the eyes, and they cut the feed immediately. She got fired, and she never had a job since. And they took the video off YouTube 2 years ago. So as far as organ harvesting, we all know that I'm pretty sure you're aware melanin is worth how much is melanin worth? Like $400 a gram or something.
A gram,
like that?
Yeah.
I gotta double check that, matter of fact.
Worth more than anything per gram, any chemical, yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Because I used to know this off the hand, but it probably went up since. They took it off. They took it off Google. Hold on, man. I know it's on here somewhere. Hold on. I know it's on here, man. Okay, here it is right here. It's not the same. It used to be one of the, how you look on Google for something and it actually has like a built-in answer.
Yeah.
Like if you look up the value of gold, Google will have it. Google's built-in answer. They took it off of here. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so yeah, it used to be on here. So it used to be like $400, but now let me share it with you guys so you guys can see how much melanin is actually worth. So you start to look at stuff down south, and you start to wonder what excuse me, down in Haiti, and you start to wonder exactly what they were doing down there with the eyes and all that stuff. Well, it says right here, melanin is valued at over $500 a gram. The cheapest is available is $511 a gram. Gold is only 50. Actually, gold went up. Gold is about 80 something dollars a gram. So I'm not sure if melanin went up since then. It's probably doubled if that's the case. But yeah, I'm telling you, Google used to have its own answer for this, and it's just amazing that they well, it's not surprising, but it's amazing they completely removed it.
Now you see why human trafficking is. I believe it generates more money than drugs and weapons.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants a piece of the human trafficking. It's just so much money to make, and you have an abundance of people. You know, I don't condone it, but I understand it. You know, if you're talking business wise, but yeah, that's just never going to go away, man. That's not going anywhere.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Like if you got like the guy George Soros who had, I think, 6 heart transplants or something like that. Not George Soros. Who was it? The Rockefeller guy. He had like I think
Dick Cheney had a few. He had a few. They all had multiple.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, if this guy who's a billionaire and owns hella property needs a heart, and it's a list that's 2 years long, and this guy's gonna die in 6 months if he don't get a heart.
Yeah,
he gonna get a heart.
Yeah, and he gonna get it from the best of the best.
And he gonna get it from whoever he need to get it from. And a lot of times it could be, you know, younger guys, up and coming athletes. There's that kid down in what was that? Down south, I think it was North Carolina, where they found him rolled up in a rug and all his organs were missing, and they closed it as suicide. So, you know, stuff like that. This guy was supposed to be a star athlete, from what I read.
Stuffed his body with newspaper.
Rolled him up in the carpet, put him back in the school. Yeah. Nobody saw anything.
Yeah.
But if this is the kind of things, you know what I mean? These guys, these higher ups, you know, they need hearts. They're gonna get the heart, man. They're gonna get a heart. You know, you might not be around to see if they're gonna get a heart.
Yeah.
Chris Matthews, what's up, Chris? What's going on with you, man? Is that you over there looking like Brock Lesnar Jr.? Kimberly Salinas, DC is a foreign corporation to American National. That's facts. I have my grantor's trust, 9 EIN. You're not supposed to talk about that. That's private, man. The consultant. What up, consultant? Good to see you here, man. Backbone says that way of star idol worship always benefits the Democrats. Absolutely. Because, you know, Democrats basically use the stars to reel in, I would say, as far as the indigenous, a heavy population of the Aboriginal indigenous people, so-called Black. You know, they fall for it every time. And I tell people, what annoys me the most is I tell the older generation, yo, just because she's doing a dance does not mean she's going to benefit you anyway. Mm-hmm. Why are you voting for somebody that doesn't even care and has a history of not caring about you or anyone else that looks like you? You know, Kamala Harris is an excellent example. We ain't got to talk about Hillary. We talk about Kamala Harris. Yeah. Her policies destroyed a whole lot of the indigenous population in Cali, was it? So it's like, yo, at this point, why are you still voting for people like this? And it's like, yo, well, she looks like me, so like, yo, but you know, not all skin folk is kinfolk, though.
Right.
You gotta stop thinking like that, man. Studio man says hot sauce in her purse. Oh my gosh, I was hoping nobody brought that up. That was painful. I actually hurt. I actually got a pain in my side.
That was cringy. I was so embarrassed, and I'm like, I don't even give a fuck about these people. I was personally embarrassed. Like,
it was awful. Like, and the fact that people still voted for her was just, it was cringeworthy. Backbones, when you want to find stars, celebrities not care for anymore, ask my guy Sly. What up, Zakiba? We live. Yes, sir. Live and direct, live in effect. You know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. Word is Danny Glover is a voodoo priest. Really? He looked like one of them too. Like, if I had to look at Danny Glover and not know him, I would say, yo, this dude knows some shit I don't know. I'm not.
I ran into him in an airport. Like, that dude, this was years ago, but he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's a big, strong, old man.
Really?
Yeah, Danny Glover would put the meat cleavers on you. He's a big, old, strong man. I'm sure he's shorter now because he's shrunk, you know, but he's older. But then, legit 6'4", legit. He's a big old man.
I didn't know he was that large, man.
Yeah.
Shit. I seen him standing next to Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. I thought they were the same size. That's camera trick. They even made Mel Gibson a little taller than him, right?
They put lifts in the boots. That's why if you watch Fast and Furious, that's why Vin Diesel is always eye to eye with and with Paul Walker is 6'4", legit. Like, he, you know, and it came out that they put lifts in Vin's boots Which is why he can
they had
be
the
eye to eye
Rock.
with the Rock, you know?
Yeah, they had the Rock standing next to him, but they put that El Camino in a way.
That's right.
So that you only saw waist up from Diesel.
That's right.
And then waist up from the Rock. They probably had him standing on top of like another car.
Yeah, Vin's like 5'10". He might be 5'11" on a good day, but you know, Walker and the Rock, those guys are legitimate 6'4", you know, every day.
Yeah, Rock's a beast. I remember back when he used to wrestle professionally. One of my favorites. The French was the guys that the Haitian freed themselves from. It was the French, okay. It was the French. I thought it was the British. It was the French. I think the British tried their hand too, though, didn't they?
I mean, everybody had a hand in.
Heck, they beat like 4 waves. They had like a video game where they like there was wave 2 on the way, 5 minutes, please prepare, and they would just beat the shit out of all of them. Yeah, it was that voodoo, man, that voodoo spell, man. You know, whatever courage or whatever they drew from it, they got busy. What can I say?
Well, let me ask you this: given what Haiti is now, in your opinion, was it worth it?
No, here we go, man, because what is the cost of freedom? I mean, I don't think that Haiti is as developed as other countries are. But I mean, the one thing they can say is they don't have their strings pulled by anybody. And I will say this, a lot of countries do shit all over Haiti. As far as I know, if I'm missing something, please educate me. But as far as I know, you know, a lot of countries do shit on Haiti, like they'll dump toxic waste. I've heard about, you know, Bill Clinton dumping toxic waste all over different parts of Haiti or different countries, basically pissed off from what happened in the past. They damn near bankrupted the Americans' conquest. I think the Louisiana Purchase had to be sold, right, to continue funding the war.
To keep fighting, yep. They keep funding it,
yeah. So like when we start talking about stuff like that, man, I mean, what is your value? How much do you value freedom? You know, enough. Like again, if I'm wrong, if they do have like other countries all in their shit, maybe I'm missing that. But as far as I know, they're not getting their change jerked around still. So it depends on who you ask, man. If you ask people about you know, who live in the condition we live in, you know, where we got stuff like computers and all that cool shit, and we got an infrastructure here, I would say, you know, maybe not. But if you ask somebody whose burning desires to be free, like what we're trying to accomplish, you know, what is it worth? What is your freedom worth?
I think I've always thought that when other melanated countries look at Haiti, we all agree, okay, they won, but it's like, well, damn, if this what winning looks like, I maybe not. You know, I just think the optics have scared a lot of melanated folk into, you know, we go through all this. I mean, it's like the Star Wars movies, man. They kept getting their asses whooped. The Empire pretty much always won. You know, and that plays on, I think it plays on people's psyche. It's like, yeah, okay, Haiti, they wanted freedom, but look at Haiti now. Would you want to move to Haiti? Do you want to go to Haiti? I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like you said, at what cost? You know, yeah, freedom is I guess it depends on what you deem freedom to look like. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I just think a lot of other countries got to look at it and just like, you know what? Nah, I'm cool. Yeah. All they want is this excise tax. Okay, fuck it, just pay the tax, man. You know, so I could be wrong though, but yeah. Haiti's still getting fucked with. Everybody, pretty much takes turns, you know, punching up on Haiti, you know, and not enough people come to its defense. That's why I hate the DR Haiti thing. It's like you're the same fucking island, you know. Now they want DR wants to build a gate, build a wall separating itself from Haiti. It's like, what the fuck is this shit all about?
Y'all the same people, like
make it make sense. How you gonna build a wall? You share the same island.
It's crazy, man. Listen, that shit was just as dumb as the Trump build a wall shit. I thought that shit was stupid too, because you got tunnels underneath the goddamn wall. Like, yo, you really want to get busy with them mofos? Flood the damn tunnels with cement. You know, all of the goddamn crack cocaine. Not even crack, but the goddamn cocaine and shit that's coming in here underneath the ground and stuff like that. And I mean, dude, I didn't see so much shit about these underground tunnels and stuff, but you know, they'll never do that because they didn't build the tunnels in the first place. You know, some otherworldly beings probably built those tunnels. They don't have any right to flood them. So who knows, man? But I will say this: that is completely ridiculous that they would want to even do something like that. They're people, basically.
Yeah,
part of that self-hate shit, I suppose. All right, my man says, yes, sir, we covered that. The French speak of being attacked by machetes and hatchets, with nobody holding the weapons. Get the fuck out of here. because he was throwing them shits like Call of Duty, probably. He was in the trees like the Vietnamese, man. Hey, man. Hey, if it works, it works, though. He got busy with them. He got freaky with them dudes. They dipped off. Don't forget about the scopolamine. What is that? Scopolamine? I guess you know what that is, because I don't.
I just know of the zombie powder. That's pretty.
Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know, man. I had to look it up. Note to self. Scopolamine. I'm gonna look into that. Thank you, sir. Melanin is probably $1,000 per gram now. Yeah. Melanin is probably higher now. I mean, again, when I looked, the last time I looked this up was probably, I had a debate with some guy. It was like 2015 or something. And I had looked this up and it was like, it was about 400 and I think 480 or 470 or something like that back then. But yeah, it's definitely probably doubled or if not more by now.
Mm-hmm.
The true, will there be a way? Everybody's saying, damn, what y'all killing me. The inside word is that Biden is to expire while in office and Harris will be the first woman. Well, here's the interesting thing about that. Actually, she already has been the first woman president. A lot of people don't know that.
When he went to the hospital. Yeah.
Yep. He went to the
technically,
hospital.
It came to fruition. Yeah.
He went to the hospital to get some surgery done. And the policy is whenever the president has to go to the hospital to get a surgery done that could affect his life, the power will be transitioned. Now, keep in mind, she was only president for a day, I think. But it was really kept quiet. But yeah, she's already been the president before. So yeah, how about that? Voodoo is actually an occult science rather than a religion. Yeah. Because what I heard was a lot of the Haitians that were fending themselves from attack, they actually had different beliefs religiously. Now, I'm not sure how that could have been in that time, so I can't speak on that. But I heard that voodoo was the thing that kept them all, united.
And then also what people don't realize is a lot of Hollywood stars will go to Haiti and go see the witch doctor and get prayed over and get cleansed and all that good shit. So they know what to do. They're not stupid by far. Like they understand what powers and what works. So yeah, they'll go to Haiti in a heartbeat and be like, I need this cleanse. Go and do your thing, witch doctor, and they'll do it. So yeah.
Nice. What currency do they take down? Are you aware that they take gold or whatever?
Okay, so for the people that I know that have been there, they'll take the gold or silver special coins and shit like the John Wick shit. But that's just because I know those people that are into that, But I'm sure the average American, will take, American money, they'll take it,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Probably not anymore though, man, because the damn dollar's losing value everywhere, right?
Yeah, but at how many times have we seen the dollar lose its value over the course of a decade and still come back? Yeah. I think the only real threat is the Bitcoin, but once everybody gets on board with the Bitcoin, then I can see that replacing the dollar. But as of right now, at the end of the day, the world reserve currency is still the dollar. Period.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. There's a lot of Santeria going on in LA. Santeria. I'm assuming you being from LA or California,
Santeria. Yeah, that's. Remember Obama's grandmother? Remember they kept complaining because she kept killing the chickens in the White House in her room.
No, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. Because a lot of people wanted Obama dead, like spiritually dead, and she would be up there killing the chickens and praying over that man. And the workers would complain about all the blood and feathers and shit like that. So yeah, he had a praying grandmother over his ass.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. The one artist, Azalea Banks, is she's heavy into Santeria, and she would show her little rituals and all the chickens she done killed and whoever she was praying to. So Santeria is it's pretty big, it's pretty big as far as the scope of the of that. So yeah.
Very interesting, man.
Yeah.
That's new. I just learned something. What up, Lay Jones? Good to see you here. Okay. Question. Haiti is not honoring their patron. That's why they're struggling. What you mean by that, man?
I believe it's the patron saint. One of their deities. Because there's a lot of whitewashing. There's a lot of Christianity in the islands nowadays. You'd be surprised, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
MacBook, man, my connection's a little shaky. We must be talking about some shit we ain't supposed to be talking about.
You know, that's what happens.
Ain't talking too much, man. Man, studio manager says the Mac Bones files. I try to explain that to some people, but they rather stick to their blind worship. That's a harsh way of putting it, but hey, that's facts. The cost of freedom is everything. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, how bad do you want to be free? It looks like they pretty much lost out on a lot of years of economical evolution. So I mean, you know, you got to ask yourself, is that worth it? But no, here's the other part to that, Sly.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of these people down there, the foods they eat is all organic. They're all eating organic foods. They're not like you know, GMO ridden foods and stuff like that. So a lot of the guys down there are in very good shape, and even the old men are real muscular because they're eating so good. And their way of life is different. You know, they're in shape. They're always lifting heavy things. So, you know, that's just like we can talk about North Sentinel Island too. I'm sure you're aware what North Sentinel Island is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these people don't fuck with nobody. Like, you come within spear's reach of that beach, you're gonna get a bow and arrow or arrow put through your chest or something. Like, you'll get screwed up.
But to your point and to your strength, they were granted sovereignty by that country that is in their borders. That's why no one's really gone in to like really take them out, because that whatever country is the island is nearby declared them a sovereign people. So that also helps as well. But yeah, they killed the one white photographer that went down there and did some dumb shit. And I mean, they'll kill you if you come there with the dumb shit. But you know, no military has gone to invade them per se for whatever resources they're sitting on, because that country, I forget what country it is, deemed them sovereign. So yeah,
it's India, right? I think it's India.
It might
Coast
be
of India or something like that. I thought it was India.
It might be.
But still, like, even if they were granted sovereignty, do you think it's a situation where it's respected because India is protecting them, or is it because those motherfuckers are so dangerous and it ain't worth it? Like, you would literally have to go in there. The money you would spend to have like a military op to go in there to try to take whatever's there, you don't even know what's there, first off. So you might waste money even going in the bitch. Not to mention, you'd be killing a hell of people that was minding their goddamn business, and the public would not like it at all. So it would just be a clusterfuck all around, probably.
I agree. I think the optics on that would be extremely bad, which is why no one's really gone up in there like that. So, I mean, kudos to the people that keep their culture alive and, you know, still show people how they can live, and, you know what I'm saying? So that kudos to the North Sentinel people, but they also haven't, whether they know it or not, they have help from the outside world to a certain extent. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, that could be, again, like you say, that's the difference between the two. Now it depends on who you ask. Like, if you were to ask one of those people, you know what I mean? Well, dude, you know, we got internet and all this other shit. They'd be like, what the fuck is that? They don't care about no internet, you know what I mean? But you can say the same thing to Haiti. Like, yo, you know, I'm not saying Haiti doesn't have internet, but any of the necessities and things we have now, you know, running water and all that stuff, you can say, yo, we got running water. Like, okay, so we live like this, you know what I mean? But who knows, man? I'm not the authority on that. But yeah, if we were to look from the outside in, they live in rough to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But shit, they live in rough in certain parts of Baltimore City too. They heavily celebrate Christmas. That was a shock to me. Who celebrates Christmas? Haiti? Get the fuck out of here! Really? Dominican Republic building a wall. He talked about that. You called upon Saturnian power to aid, but don't keep up your partitions. What would you expect? I would never trust the newly freed people to lead. Their brains need a bath. That's interesting. Freedom costs way more than $101.09. Got to pay your dues. That's facts. 100%, man. Slide people like their comforts because DR doesn't want them problems.
Sure don't. And it's a heavy tourist attraction area. Everyone brags about. I never understood why people brag about going to the DR. I'm like, well, Haiti's like right down the street. Don't you want to go see, you know, the people of Haiti? And you know, I get a lot of stink looks, and people just turn their noses up. It's like, what the fuck you mean? Like, they're just.
I can't say I wouldn't go to Haiti though, man. On some real shit, I can't say I wouldn't go. Just to, like, you know, dude, if anything, you get to try new food or whatever like that. You get yourself a little hotel or whatever.
Yeah, if I never go back there again, I'm like, well, let me go one time,
Mhm.
just to say I've been there. Like,
But shit, Tariq Nasheed did a whole
I remember.
series down. What was
Yeah.
it? 1804, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess you saw it, right?
Yeah, I did. It was bootleg, but I seen it though.
Okay. My man whispered that shit. That's what fentanyl comes through the Mexican border. Word. Haiti dark skin, DR light skin. Hey, and you know why that is? When you intermingle, that's why my ass light skin. Motherfuckers intermingling, man. But I mean, it is what it is. Part of living, I suppose. I remember they put out an article in Time magazine back in 2016, and they said the average American would look like pretty much like a Brazilian, like one of them Brazilian.
We're definitely getting
brown
lighter
skin.
as a people. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, they had the picture of the girl with the green eyes, the light skinned girl on the cover. And okay, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
100%. I remember that joint. So I was like, yo, that's actually probably gonna be real because brothers love some light skinned chicks, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of people, I guess, equate having a dark skinned child as more problems in this society and this culture. I can understand why somebody would think like that.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I couldn't do that. Like, I just, if I'm a selectively breed, I'm gonna selectively breed for a 6 foot kid, tall, muscular, for the physical attribute, not for the complexion, but that's how I would do it.
And to each his own, and I believe you have the right to think that way.
Yeah.
100%. I support your opinion on that. Actually, I honestly don't give a shit who anybody breeds with or anything like that personally, man. As long as you ain't out there messing with somebody else or bothering anybody else, I don't give a.
Right.
Kamala is an acting president. Wiki says so. Get the fuck out of here. Wiki, man, let me tell you something about Wikipedia, all right? Yo, let me tell you how Wikipedia is treachery. You can actually, there's a lot of instances where I've quoted Wikipedia and gone back to look at what they said and it changed. And I got made an ass of, so I don't rely on that anymore. Try not to. Scopolamine is derived from a plant in Amazon. In the Amazon, once blown in a victim's face, they'll be in a zombie state for a few days. Yo, I actually read about this plant before. It's like they had said that there's a game called The Last of Us where actually it had like spores that were growing, and it actually, if you inhaled the spores, you would become like in a vegetative state. And that's crazy because that plant actually exists. So I guess supposedly that plant had took over, that it overpopulated or overbred, and it grew in the cities and it got in the air and the spores would get in people's faces.
Right.
And when they inhaled the spores, they would turn into like zombies. That's crazy. And he said they won't even remember. They can do anything. Whew. Man. Shit. That's crazy. Bottle caps. Santeria is a mask for voodoo. Okay. They're one and the same. Haitians taught Spanish that they renamed it the Santeria. Y'all talking about the Santeria heavy. I learned something heavy today. Banks is in Palera. We were raised to kill the chickens and act accordingly. It's funny to me that people fear what they don't know. I was never afraid of it. Honestly, I didn't know enough to be afraid of it. I know the media portrayed it to be like this super evil thing, but I mean, it can't be that bad because, over there at Bohemian Grove, you got the politicians and all those other powerful people that meet every year, and they do the same shit. So, I mean, whatever purposes they're using it for, I'm pretty sure there aren't good purposes, though, to be fair. But yeah, I never was scared of anything like that. I just always thought it was an essence of realness to it. Because to me, like, people wouldn't believe in it so heavy if it wasn't some degree of truth in it. All right, cool. So I mean, I'll catch up on the comments later. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Sly, I'm gonna drop a invite and let anybody who wants to jump in and drop bars on us. We can do so. I know you gotta get out of here, so
oh no, you're good. You're good.
Cool. All right, let me do this real fast. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What? You folks, hold on, man. Jimmy always doing it. Hold up. Jimmy says, you folks blind, neither fake Joe, body double, or Kami Harris is the president. Trump still is. I've heard that too.
God bless their hearts. God bless them. Hey.
I'm going to tell you something. I've heard that again, I'm starting to really feel like the United States did collapse when Trump took him to Supreme Court or whatever happened, because a lot of shit is starting to point to that. On top of the Capitol Hill building, bro, there's a American flag. It doesn't have the gold fringes.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was interesting.
So
and
that
I
means
took
it's
a
not
picture.
under it's not under
Military,
maritime.
yeah,
Okay,
maritime,
gotcha.
yep,
Okay.
absolutely, yes, sir. I put that on my my post, and I put that up there. I was like, yo, notice, the American flag is up there. It didn't have the Admiralty flag up there, and I don't know if it was there before. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Nobody really has the answers right now. We're all just speculating, So I respect anybody's opinion on this kind of stuff, man. All right, so in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link in there for anybody to get in here and come on in and debate this. Or not even debate, but just come in here and drop 2 cents. So that's the link there if anybody wants to hop in. So right there, I'm not gonna keep it up because I want to see what Jimmy's talking about. Jimmy says, God bless them. You wish they both headed for hell. Whoever is playing the part, most likely. Somebody said Jim Carrey was Joe Biden.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody said Jim Carrey was Joe Biden. All right, C Math, I see you there, but you gotta cut. I can't add you till you cut your camera on. It won't let me add you. You gotta cut your camera on. All right. What up, C Math? What's good, man?
Hey.
I know this guy.
I know that guy too. Hey, how you doing?
What's up with you, man?
In reference to what you guys were saying about Haiti, as a Haitian American, I can understand everything what you guys are saying, because what is the price of freedom? Really? And I don't take it to heart, because at the end of the day, I have eyes and I see the iniquity and the inherent unfairness of how, these people are treated. But at the end of the day, the reason why I don't think Haiti can prosper like all the other countries is like this. You beat 4 superpowers to this day that still have a vice grip on the world, right? So if you have a melanated country with proud melanated folks who can be autonomous and not need other, people, it's going to spur, the other melanated countries to follow suit, right? So with that being said, we're going to continuously and perpetually keep that country downtrodden as a reminder, hey, they may have won, but at the end of the day, this is what your freedom's going to look like.
Yeah.
We, as the majority, or the power majority, I'm not talking the majority in terms of, populace, are going to band together to make you guys look feeble. And that's just it. It's sad to say that, but it is what it is. Like, what can you do? Literally, Haiti lost their leader. There was people who came to our country and killed our leader because our leader was telling the people what was truly happening with the oligarchs.
This was the are you talking about what happened before the whole C-19 thing happened?
No, Jovenel Moise, who just died recently.
Yeah, that's the gentleman who was talking about the whole C-19 thing, right? This happened last year.
Yeah,
I had read he was refusing to administer the C-19 VAX.
But it's more nuanced than that too. But at the end of the day, how the American propaganda machine is going to put something out there just to throw people off. Slide knows this better than all. Slide knows this better than all. Yeah, I'm snitching. It is what it is. I'm writing. You
said it is what it is.
I'm writing. I'm pointing the finger at him. I'm pointing right here. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But like, there was contracts of people not getting paid. But like, I can't really talk too crazy about it because I got I realized my last name carry weight. Like in this world, you're never just a regular person. This is what I realized in this world. You're never just a regular person. Because you're never just a regular person. When they say 6 degrees of separation, it really is. You are literally just one person away from somebody that is of a prominence. So you just got to be very, very astute and very keen on how you interact with people these days.
100%. It's a good way of putting it, my man. All right, we got somebody else in the green room here. I'm gonna bring him in. My man Joel Wildenhoff. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. Whitenhoff. All right, we got somebody else.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, Chief?
Good to see you guys, man.
What's up, man? What's on your mind, Chief?
Hey, Joel, you have an echo.
I really apologize about that, man. I gotta turn on the volume here.
Turn off the YouTube or something. Maybe it's a YouTube in the background.
I apologize, man. I've been trying to fix that for a while. Hold on. Is that better?
Much better.
Perfect.
My apologies, man. I'm gonna just gonna let you guys know that I'm actually gonna be going forward with a lawsuit against the police. I don't mean to break into your conversation or anything, but I know that one thing that the police are afraid of is having witnesses if they do anything wrong. So I'm going forward to this not only with myself, but in the name of the Lord God.
Okay.
And thank you to James Lovett. Thank you to all you guys. I am going to go forward with this, especially thank you to the Lord God. And I'm going to be going forward as representation of an American national through the courtroom. And we're going to see what's going to go on. I know that there's a person that has made $12.6 million who I'm in contact right now. You can find him on YouTube. I have all of his files. You can easily download all these files. I will share them with anybody. And that's really all that I want to say to make small talk about this. That's all.
Okay. Well, hey, man, you definitely brave for tackling the system head on, bro. But, hey, you got to stand on your own square to keep it moving forward. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, hey, man, you definitely brave for tackling the system. I still hear a mean echo. It's killing me.
Got to do it.
Absolutely, man.
Got to do it, man. We can't stand down. I got hurt really bad. I can't stand down. You know?
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly transpired, my man? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I probably got an echo right now. I just got to turn it up and turn it down. My apologies, man. What transpired was that right out of Milwaukee County in Cudahy, Wisconsin, there's been some really bad stuff going on. And I was a victim of something that was supposed to be like attempted homicide and also actually at least battery. I have battery on video. I have video of every single little thing. And the police took this stuff. They manipulated, twisted the story upside down in every way, shape, and form. Then they did all kinds of nasty, nasty stuff to me. And I'm just going to be telling that. I've studied things about how to talk to the jury. I can give all of these resources to you guys. I want to be able to help anybody about anything and just kind of go from there, you know. So, and like I said, the most important thing I have to say is Mark 11:24 in the Bible. And in the name of God, this is going to change because you know what? This might go back in the ancient times or whatever you got to call it, but in the name of God, things are going to change. That's what I got to say. Prayer to God. I've seen the impossible change. I've lost everything. It was easy to be able to just look to God, nothing else. And I've seen the impossible change. That's all I got to say.
Respect, man. Respect, man. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. My man Jimmy being hard on you, man. My man Jimmy looks like a serial killer. I don't know why he said that.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
My man Jimmy be trolling, but yeah, he's cool, man. But nah, that's a wild boy.
My glasses, man. Here, is that a little bit better for you?
Yeah, man.
Man,
yo, you gotta cut that echo, man. It's killing me, bro. You gotta cut that echo. I'm gonna have to mute you out, though, man. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man, that echo was killing me. It was like, God damn, I heard the whole broadcast over again. All right, let's catch up on some of these comments real fast.
Yeah, what part of Baltimore are you from, bro?
Baltimore area. I'm all over the place, man.
Yeah.
I like to believe children appreciate every adult that genuinely cares about them. Your husband's endeavors are worthy. Oh, man, I missed that. Vice did an episode on Haiti about him shortly after it aired. He was assassinated. Oh, man, is that what happened?
They ate his food up. They ate his food up bad. They ate his food. But the reason why I ask you is like, are you close to Upton Gym where Gervonta Davis trained?
Yeah, I don't know Gervonta Davis himself, but I know people he trained with. But yeah, actually, Baltimore's very small, so I'm around the area.
All right, cool.
A lot of the A lot of them know that the United States has something to do with Haiti's president being assassinated. Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. The United States corporation has a lot to do with a lot of people being assassinated.
At the end of the day, like a lot of people make a lot of money off of Haiti. So at the end of the day, if someone is not, in the United States corporation's best interest, a lot of the oligarchs, they're gonna get you out of there. Home sweet funeral home. Word of G-Rap. It's a nasty game outside. So at the end of the day, it just is what it is.
Yep. Agreed. It's a scary place for children to grow up. We all know the CIA has something to do with Haiti president being assassinated. Yeah, that's a nasty organization, I tell you. They get busy.
Murder game impeccable, you heard? Murder game impeccable. I ain't gonna hold you. I had a conversation with my mom. Like, out of the Royals or the Clintons, who would you have in a murder off? I got the Clintons. If you need someone
out of what?
In a murder off. If you need someone off the face of the earth, who you getting? The Clintons or the Royals? I got the Clintons.
The Royals have history on their side, but just over the last 20 years, the Clintons, man, shit.
Yo, bro, Hillary get busy, boy.
Them Clintons like the Avengers for real. Like, yo, they got a Black Ops squad or something.
I ain't gonna hold you. Exhilarating. Their murder game is exhilarating. It's like, entertainment on the highest level. Like, yo, bro, I was reading the Clinton list. You know how crazy it is? Yo, how do you shoot yourself twice? Like, think about it.
In the back.
Think about it. Like, yo, think about it, bro. Look, boom. How you gonna have enough strength to do that shit again?
I mean, people literally got shot in the back twice, and then the gun was thrown like a mile away. It was real. Like, yo, let me toss this motherfucker as fast as I can. As hard as I can.
He got shot. If you get shot in your back, that's like potentially fatal. Like, you're going. But think about it. They said he got shot in the head twice, bro. Slide. Look at it. Look. Bang. Your brain's over there, baby. Your brains is over there. You mean to tell me you go scoop your brains up, put it right back in your head? Hey, yo, that was just a test run. Let's do it for real now.
Do it again for real. Oh. Make it make sense, right?
Yeah.
But USA mercenaries in Ukraine right now battling with the Russians.
Yep.
What's your email? Joel C Money wants to know your email for some reason. He said you look like Lester from GTA.
Jesus Christ.
They light you up, Joel. I'm going to let you defend yourself, Joel. Please, there you go. Unmute yourself so you can say something back on it. They try to clown on you, man. He wanted to remain silent on that one. It's the Domer glass. Y'all, listen, man. Y'all killing me here. What happened with the Enlightened Luciferian Prince? What happened with Enlightened Luciferian Prince? The dude is a scammer and he's a fraudster, and he scammed a lady out of $2,500, and he scammed me out of $220, and he scammed another gentleman that was in here that was supposed to be dropping the word, but I haven't seen him show up yet. I actually just saw it, so now I'm not ducking anything. I just saw it, and you late because we actually handled that earlier. So yeah. He seems official, but I never bought anything from him, so I can't be 100% sure. Dude, he has a silver tongue. The dude knows how to talk, and he knows what he's talking about. Now, as far as giving you what you ask for when you give him money and him giving you a service, not too sharp on that. Now, this is from my experience and a few others who I've spoken to about this topic. Imagine this, L small now, later. So, y'all, yeah, they laughing. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy indeed. All right, let me I'm gonna drop the link here again in case anybody else wants to jump in. And then there we go. There's a link again if anybody else wants to hop into the chat.
A6, I gotta ask you, what got you into the path that you're in right now? If you don't mind expounding.
Absolutely, I talk about this all the time. Actually, I always had questions about stuff, but I never really had answers. So I never really knew where to look or anything like that. But what really got me geared towards where I needed to head at was the lockdowns, man. Because I was like, yo, this don't feel right, man. This doesn't feel like this is something that they can actually do and get away with. So yeah, that was what actually moved me around with in terms of
You know what got me into this? Like this higher knowledge. Oh, you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I finish up. What got me into this higher knowledge? I kind of actually watched. You remember SpongeBob the Masonic episode when I was younger? It was so many, Easter eggs that they had in that episode that it just went over my head. But like, when they put something in like, entertainment, and like, it's in your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is a lot quicker to pick up messages in your conscious mind. That was the first thing that happened to me in terms of, esoteric knowledge. Then at 21, I met the dude to your left. Yeah, at 21, then real talk. The first time I ever the first time I ever got one of these videos of like things that piqued my interest, like how this world really works, was this super solid. Jeez, what? Slide, you wanna talk to me like that? Jesus Christ. Damn. That's not me.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
These people must have came in with Sly, because I ain't never seen
man,
you
Matt in the house.
What up, man? It was good to see you here, man. What's up with you, man?
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. At Arkansas Governor School, 1987, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, by the way. I met Bill Clinton in person when he was a governor. That dude been burying bodies since he was Attorney General, man. Real talk. Yeah.
Who get busier than him? Who get busier
when they had that case about Whitewater? When they had that case about Whitewater, ain't no way they was gonna have him prosecuted, man, because one of the people that they wanted to have him prosecuted was Janet Reno, and that was the lady that was going to be Attorney General by the Clintons.
Mm-hmm.
The Clintons are like the Borgias, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
y'all heard that? So the Clintons are the Borgias.
I said that.
Yeah, but you remember like about Mena Park, Arkansas. You remember when those kids who are on those train tracks who saw something that they're not supposed to see, and they got cleaned up. They got cleaned up. That's why I always tell my mom I see my black ass in that house.
What happened?
Hey, check this out. The family that Bill Clinton's related to is the Rockefellers, and they've been running Arkansas since 1825. Man, they got a Rockefeller Center Memorial named after them on 3rd Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, and they got like a middle elementary school in the East End named after those guys. That's why Clinton was allowed to do what he's able to do, because even one of the lieutenant governors was a Rockefeller, went to Rockefeller the fourth. So, man, I mean, that's why I tell these foolish Negroes, y'all think y'all just got that little bit of power in that one handgun you got. Think about the dude that can get a phone call, sign a paper, have a notary stamp it, then send some drones that decimate 10 miles of city block on your ass.
Yeah.
That's some bad. That's a bad mofo shit right there.
Yeah. Why they eat your food up, bro? They say you look like JaVale McGee.
Listen, man. Yo, fuck this guy's life.
Right? Those ain't my people.
These your people, y'all. I'm about to ban this motherfucker. I don't look like this dude, all right?
Yeah.
Hey, Slide. I got something funny to tell you, man.
Yeah.
Me and my niece Elena agreed, man, that Obsidian needs to go to Netflix pretty soon, man, for that cartoon TV series, man.
Yeah, he's special.
Dude just had me cracking up, man.
Yeah,
dude just had me cracking up. Because like I told Reg, I said, man, the reason why I subscribe to Obsidian right now, because I can't afford my Netflix account right now. So I need all the entertainment I can get. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Because real talk, if I invited Obsidian to my family reunion, he would get roasted for a month. Real talk. We'd get roasted for a month. Man, we probably coming out with encyclopedias of roast for him. Because when my niece Elena was up there hearing me on the panel with Obsidian, he said, Uncle Lee, you watching cartoons? No, I'm just talking to this guy named Obsidian. Hey, Uncle Lee, what's Obsidian's magical supernatural powers? Well, niece, he can draw the sugar tune. What sugar you talking about? Oh, it's this KS brand of sugar. You know what I'm saying? The KS Care Bear brand of sugar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow. As in the Care Bears Defense Force. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sly knows what I'm talking about. You know, the Care Bears with the rainbows and shit. I mean, man.
Yeah, we talked about this, bro. We talked about that. I already put them out there, man. So if y'all see, dude,
I got you.
If y'all see him put out any videos or some shit like that, feel free to hop in this comment section and tell him you're a fraud and get that man back his 220. Get that lady back his 2,500. That's what it is.
Man, the thing about it, man, the first YouTube dude that was doing that style and image and cologne stuff was the Style OG. He's the real image consultant guy in the space. The Style OG, not KS.
That's a fact.
KS stole this shit from the Style OG, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He ran with it.
I mean, the Style OG been dropping some knowledge, man, about the different deodorants that are pretty good for this year and this year. He even came up with a video, man, about the best body washes for 2022.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. And he also had another video, man, about the 8 ways to deal with your anger. Style OG. That's the original. That's the original image consultant, not KS.
That's a fact. I remember.
And then this tutti frutti dude, this little Richard of YouTube, KS, gonna try to have the nerve, you know, and wants to see Booger the nerve of this nigga.
We don't want to get people channels.
I mean, this dude stole points with Thomas Sotomayor, you know, David Carroll, even you, Sly, Angry Man, and other folks.
Damn.
He even stole stuff from Al Roger Kirk. I said, okay, the nerve of this nigga. Now this dude going too far.
So I know y'all not fans of Kevin Samuels. I know y'all don't mess with him, but you'll call that man.
Well, we be roasting him every night, man. Especially my niece. My niece got some roast for him.
I'll be getting on my man. That's crazy. Yo said, what's the link to this rip-off Prince guy? Yo called him Prince. Y'all some wild boy. Hey, he's talking about Kevin Samuels, Jimmy.
Yeah, dude.
Dom Killam and scam. You know what? Somebody else told me Dom Killam scammed him. Somebody hit my inbox and said something about he's supposed to be giving them plates or something like plates and identification or something, and something happened where it wasn't right. He basically shut off.
Hey, Sly, you and me know, man, that if Kevin Samuels go mainstream, he's gonna have about thousands of more humiliation rituals to go through. They're gonna be up there unlocking all the skeletons in his closet, man.
Humiliation
so KS gonna need to get ready.
I wish
he's gonna need to get ready.
I wish him.
Hold on, so let me ask y'all a question.
Get ready, man.
Y'all obviously know. So I know about the dude that was supposedly sleeping in his bed or some shit like that. And he accidentally cut the camera on or something.
Nigga, what?
I heard this. This is what I heard.
No.
This is actually a video.
Look me in my son when you say this to me, my nigga. Look me in my
he actually legitimately a video that's out on the internet that's saying that he clicked over to, like, you know how he clicked somebody's video or something like that. You can see their face. And he accidentally clicked into a video that he wasn't supposed to click on. It was somebody sleeping in his bed like a man.
Yeah, he called it good.
Now, I'm not sure if that was his. I don't know.
We know every blunder, every mistake every questionable thing he's ever said.
Tell you about these manosphere niggas. I tell you on the private. I tell you leave them alone. You don't listen to me. You don't listen to me.
Hey, Sly, my niece still thinks the manosphere is still a cartoon show. My niece Elena still thinks it's a cartoon show, man. I said, man,
those guys the best.
I'll leave it at that. Right, so look, the manosphere has Donovan Sharp, who had problems with that other dude. He basically was hiding his wife for a long time, and he finally came forward with her. I know y'all heard about that, right? Then there was Kevin Samuels that they saying this man, he has a preference. They saying that. They said, what the alpha male strategies? Y'all think y'all legit?
Hey, as far as in which regard?
I mean, any regard, like the way y'all.
He's legit when it comes to the lie and the bullshit. He's legit with that.
Oh, smack.
The stuff that he stole that from ARC. ARC's book, The Possibility of Sex and the Beta Male Revolution. So all that stuff that he talked about in the first book, it came from ARC's first book. I read ARC's books. I even tried ARC stuff in public, and he did us some good results, man. I was even put three pictures the other day using that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I wish them all the best.
I mean, because real talk, ARC is the master teacher of verbal seduction and erotic dirty talk. Real talk, man. And it's so funny to me, man, that the same folks that be trying to argue with ARC are the ones that need their help the most when it comes to dealing with these women. They need his help the most.
What does ARC stand for? So I can look this up.
Alan Roger Curry.
Alan
Roger Curry. Yeah, the Mo Warner Prince. Yeah, Alan Roger Curry.
With one L.
Somebody else asked me about the information and stuff like that about Game. Somebody hit me up about that the other day. When I was younger, I read The Game by Neil Strauss. I read that. This is back when I first got into it. This is back when I was like, I think 24 or something. I read that book, and I read Double Your Daddy, Dave D'Angelo, and a few other. I read the Tower of Badass by Josh Pellicer. So I mean, these books were interesting though because they not only focused on like pickup, they focused on you basically improving yourself. So it was like,
hey man, the first book I read on Game was a book called Pimp by Iceberg Slim. That's the first book I read on Game, and then the second book I read by him was Airtight Willie and Me. But most of my game I learned from the streets, man. I couldn't learn it from no iPad, no phone, because see, I'm 52 years old. We had to go out there and get it.
Hey, get out there,
like my uncle. Yeah, because see, like my Uncle Slick, Uncle Lester Williamson taught me, like my Uncle Slick taught me, game is living the truth of what you actually are.
Yep.
And it's the streets that proves who has the real game and who doesn't.
Straight up.
It's the streets that prove that. Because I guarantee you, man, if I take some of these YouTubers out on the stroll me on the street, try to get them to put a female in check, man, they fold like noodles, man. They fold like Roman noodles. They fold like boiled Roman noodles, bro.
Word.
They probably run to the bushes somewhere trying to avoid a chick.
Shit.
Oh, look out! Hey, BBW, look out! All right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not 100% sure Don Killen was a scammer. That's just a rumor I heard. Yeah, I somebody else reached out to me and told me that too. I don't follow dudes, so I don't know, but I can only tell you what you know.
Yo, A6, I gotta do some school work because I'm still a student. It's good talking to you. Good talking to you, Macbone.
Oh,
Sly is always good. It's always good accosting you, Sly. Always good accosting. Peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. And anybody who hasn't yet, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, so we can join in for these talks Sundays.
Because remember, man, likes are free, just like air. You don't have to pay for it to breathe.
Absolute.
A6, hey, I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta go.
I knew you had to go, man. Everybody, if you haven't yet, please go subscribe.
Tell Saban say hello, man, and please don't stab you, all right?
For sure. Hey, A6, thank you for having me, bro. Anytime. And like I said, I kind of wanted to bring you on. So I'll get at you behind the scenes and
hit me up.
We'll get a time together for you.
Good, baby.
Right, cool. Thank you, bro.
See you later, Sly.
Everybody have a good night. Peace.
Yes, sir. All right, yeah, but yeah, you're right though, man. You gotta get out there and try this shit. You feel me? Yeah,
you do, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially when you're learning the way of the sovereign, man. You know, you gotta go out there and like study it, but not just study it, but live it, man. And that sovereignty, man, starts with you, yourself, the self-control, the self-mastery, the self-knowledge, the self-accountability.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
100%.
It all starts with them, man. You can't fake it.
Right.
The guy was asking me the other day, like, yo, so when I get my passport, I should be good, right? No, you're not good.
No.
if you don't know anything, then you're gonna get tried and you're gonna fail.
I mean, this sovereignty thing is a life journey process, man.
Yeah.
It's a life journey process.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because Black's Law Dictionary, that's the beginning of the study right there, man. Definitely gotta start with that Black's Law Dictionary, man.
Yeah, definitely. They're not cheap books. Like if you get one of the older ones, they cost a lot. They're not cheap, but I mean it's worth every penny though.
Yes,
it is, man.
I got my man Big Pontiac in here. What's up, man?
Hey, Big Pontiac, what's up, man?
What's happening?
How you doing? Yeah, we can hear you, man.
What's on your mind, man?
I don't even think I'm a. Hey, like now, what I said about Haiti, and the point I wanted to make was. Okay, so you can find several books where the French soldiers say there was no people, but they was being killed by weapons. And they were being killed by weapons in such a mass amount where, remember, they left. They left the land. And what they did is the French got the British to help them, and they circled all the ports. And they said, you know, we'll bomb you with ships, but ain't go, you know, because one time Haiti was the richest island in the world as far as production. When Napoleon first took over Haiti, it was the richest land in the world as far as production of natural resources. So once they lost that, circle the port, remember, all through Papa Doc, and then remember in 1900, the U.S. occupied Haiti for 30 years. And then they put in Papa Doc and Baby Doc, you know, all that corruption. But once they lost the land, they had to pay reparations to France until the 80s, I think it was.
Yes.
And so you wonder why all these attacks on Haiti and the difference between one island. And as I put in the comment, Disney owns a resort in Haiti.
Yes.
You take that Disney cruise, there's one port you can go to where you go to land, water slides, and all that shit. So that's part of the reasons why we got the earthquakes, we got the typhoons, the floods, and why that area has been kept suppressed. Now, you said something very interesting. You said that they did not want that type of energy to spread. Because all these islands should have cooperated and went for the push. Went for the push of defeating in all the Americas, putting them out. That's why you know it's a lie when you say Canada and America separate, when really that's really a lie. You beat them out of America, but you don't beat them out of your northern. You got your enemy to your north constantly. I mean, that's not real. That's not real. I mean, the Revolutionary War was nothing but a land grab, and we can say the same thing for the Civil War. It was a lot of land grabs because you had all them peoples in the north. You had over 100 foreign generals in the Civil War for the north, and it was about a land grab. It was totally about a land grab. So that's kind of what I wanted to add. The Ukraine stuff, some of it's fake, some of it's real. You know, they can go play army. You know, there's maneuvers. They can go play army anywhere. You can blow up a building, fight way out, like movie sets. We know what movie sets look like. They build these movie sets and then go play war in the movie sets.
Yep.
So some of it's real. They're going to kill some people. They're good at killing people. Just imagine, they say 1 million refugees have left. How many children you think been taken? How many children been separated from their families? You know, if it's a rush, on being bombed and threatened, the way people just run and try to get to these other countries and families getting left, it's almost like what they do to cattle. You know, when they try to make cattle go in the chute so they can kill them or brand them, it's almost like that. They panic the people and the people just scatter and go into these countries.
Like a psychic, a psychic slaughterhouse.
Who's got the echo? Because I ain't watching YouTube.
It's not me.
I think that might be Joel again. There we go.
Yeah, okay. So this is just some things we consider. That's all I really wanted to add. Just wanted to build with everybody.
Hey, Big Pontiac, I saw some pictures of that stuff happening in Ukraine about the so-called bombings. Some of the vegetation trees weren't even disturbed, bro. So this is sort of like some Rising Sun stuff where they embellish photo upon photo and everything, like they did in Rising Sun, where they embellished the dude's face on top of the body and everything to frame the other guy. And it's like the vegetation, bushes, trees not disturbed in some of those bombs. So
yeah, I've heard stories of people who actually had relatives that lived there that said that they were the whole thing was basically overemphasized. You know what I mean?
Like in that movie Wag the Dog, they staged the war men to hide the presidential scandal.
Well, that's what we're looking at now. We're looking at the same thing now. But it's partly like that. They're going to kill some people because they love killing people. Don't get that out of it. They like killing people. They like killing civilians. They like killing so-called military. Yeah, so it's a blood ritual. You know, don't think that ritual ain't part of this shit too. And you talking about them peoples, you know, them Bolsheviks was them peoples. That is a country of them peoples. Them peoples love communism. Just like China. You really think China runs China? Them peoples run China.
The secret societies, man. Like the White Lotus Clan and the Dragons.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you go back,
they were called the Dark Army and I, Robot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if we want to, go back like really when time started, and we talking about the Anunnaki and some of these names and some of these entities and the wars that they had to fight, and then the AI being that old.
Too.
Pardon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this ancient war has been going on for millions of years, man. I mean, with Anunnaki and the Draco.
So it's the goats versus the dragons, or the goats versus the snake. That's the way you could look at it too. If you look at what the real war is and the real bumping of the head, and then even Super Bowl ritual, But all right, guys, thank you. I just wanted to add that little part. Thank you for the
man. I was over there learning, man.
I was learning. See, the warfare starts with the ritual, man. The warfare starts with the ritual.
Oh, but let me tell you, sister, you might want to get with is Tasha Z. She goes by Tasha Z. Look up Tasha, and Tasha makes appointments to go to the Library of Congress too. I think she lives in Virginia.
Somebody said it was Tasha 11. Is it Tasha Z?
Yeah. See, I put the 11 instead of the I, but it's Z. It's Tasha Z X I small I. Tasha Z. Okay. But look up Tasha. Tasha's always going up there, and she's indigenous, knows her family, but she goes up there because we was talking about, like, when I went up there in the 80s, there was a second floor you could go up on and find a lot of the indigenous information and pictures, and you can't even go up there anymore. Wow. That's cut off. Now there is a room where you can see some of the indigenous, but it used to be a whole room of this stuff.
That's crazy.
Where you could just see the different tribes. And Tasha said you can't even go on the second floor anymore. But again, I'm talking about 80, 81. But she said that ain't available. But it is, some of the pictures are available if you're interested in going and see the melanated older tribes. They do hold that. Right. But she does that all the time. That's how I knew you had to make appointments, because she goes up there all the time. So, all right.
Because that's actually the people that were enslaved in this country were the melanated indigenous tribes. Those are the ones that were enslaved in this country. Since they lost a lot of cargo from Africa over those years. They had to enslave the black people that were already here.
Right. It's not a lot of Africans that came over here. It was only 200,000 at the most that came to America. So most of the Africans went to South America, and not in the numbers that they say. But then if you look at Ghana and where Brazil are, it's the closest trip. Yeah. That's the easiest route to take. So, but that's who they slaved. But you have to look at some of the tribes that started working for the British, and then you look up a tribe called the West Coast.
Olmec tribes. Yeah,
but
those actually descendants of the Olmec root. Yeah.
But look up a tribe called the Westos. The Westos helped the British slave, and they slaved the melanated Americans or Indians, whatever you want to call them. But they slaved from the 1600s all the way up into the 1800s, where they were slaving people up into Arizona, New Mexico, and they was allowed to slave, for a couple hundred years and sell slaves, and and everything that was done in Mexico or South America was done in America. They just copied that thing. So, thank you. All right, guys. Say less.
No doubt. Thank you, man.
Right.
Thanks for stopping in. Now. Bars again. Please tell me you got the echo fixed.
That's all human stuff, man. It's human stuff, man.
Yep.
Hey, A6, you remember that episode in Angel, to where he was up there going to another dimension, and the demon said that the blood is the original magic. The original magic is the blood.
Shit.
It even says in the scripture, man, that the blood is the life force thereof.
Yeah, I'm so delayed out. I apologize.
That's all good. You got rid of the echo? He can't even hear me. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But yeah,
man. I mean, if you look at the scripture in Leviticus 17, which is not supposed to eat blood, right? It says the blood is the life force thereof. Now, the Hebrew word for life force is ruach, which means soul. So that's the original psychic type of leaning, man. But they do all this stuff, man, to drain your psychic energy, even through the way that you may text on IG, Facebook, whatever. Because the new spell book, man, is the algorithm, man.
Yeah.
Because if you don't understand how the algorithm works, which is the new spell casting, that's how they get you.
The algorithm is something else, man, because they got control. They're always changing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always changing it.
Frequency, yeah.
But when you learn how to put in some algorithms of your own based on some ancestral science, then you'll be fine.
Well, it sounds like you need to hit my email and put me down with that, so I can get the algorithm.
I mean, that's the thing. that's the thing. When I heard these stupid bras up there saying they're gonna use voodoo to try to mess with black men, I said, hey, as a descendant from that tradition myself, I said, okay, y'all don't know what y'all messing with, because there was this one Caucasian lady that tried to do a ritual with contacting the lower Baron Samedi and Papa Lepa. And Baron Samedi, man, is like the ruler of the underworld, the dead and all that. And she came up there with that foolishness, man, and the lower don't play that. Right. Because like I even told Sly, man, it boils down to your energy, your consciousness, and your intent, your willpower, you know, cause and effect and all that. Yeah, and then when people up there like trying to deal with stuff that they're not really ritually prepared for, there's gonna be some disastrous effects, man. You know. That's why Sly was right when he said about these Hollywood stars going to Haiti, even going to parts of Africa or Asia, whatever, to learn from these mediums, to get their stuff blessed in a scientific way, not a religious way.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, man, because religion is about the theory. Miracles is about the science, the technology of it.
100%. You know, words of wisdom.
Absolutely. Yeah,
man. I'm so behind on the comments. I ain't gonna try to catch up. I'm like,
yeah, man. Hey, I put in the comment section, man, that if you want to watch another good voodoo movie, watch The Skeleton Key. That's some tight stuff right there.
Skeleton Key.
Skeleton Key. Yeah, The Skeleton Key. Yeah, man. What they did with the rituals of the music and the mirrors. It's yeah, man.
Okay. I got that.
Yeah, because they had some blues songs back in the day. Like I forgot the dude's name, but he had that song say "I'll put a spell on you," and he was talking about the hoodoo and the voodoo, man, the scientific stuff.
Okay.
You know,
I got that on my list. I'm gonna check that out.
I mean, that's why I told Sly, you get down to Louisiana and New Orleans, make sure you see if you can get blessed by Damballa and the Loa, because that's the energy that's powerful down there. The voodoo and the hoodoo. You know, Damballa, the divine serpent, and Loa, the divine ancestors. Like Mama Wata, Papa Lepa, and Baron Samedi. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the serpent in the rainbow a long time ago, man. That was some deep stuff, man. I mean, and they was dealing with some really ritualistic occult combat in that movie. You know, like a certain Chinese general said, man, that the victory or defeat in warfare is first determined by the mind.
Yeah.
The mind is the first battle.
That was man, what was that called? Art of War, right?
Serpent in the Rainbow. The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
But it says that war is based on deception.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
another book I need to finish reading, man. I got like about a quarter of the way through, and I got distracted and read something else. I do that, man.
Have you heard of this other book? Have you ever heard of this other book by Miyamoto Musashi called The Book of Five Rings? That's a real good book too. Yeah, that's strategy based on individual combat.
Okay.
And he deals with the five elements: the nothingness, the fire, air, earth, and water. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, I mean, I first read that book when I was in the military.
Okay.
Yeah. I first read that book when I was in the military back in the day in the Army. Yeah.
I need to get the audio book at this point, man, so I can listen to them while I'm on the go. Because I'm always doing something, man. I'm traveling, I'm not sitting down, you know what I mean? It's hard to sit down and just read stuff and get through everything when you're always on the move.
Hey man, this is the point, man, where the vibrations or frequencies are speeding up so much, you always gotta be doing something.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always something going on, man. It's not a game.
Yeah, man. Right. I mean, because you look at what they're doing over there in Ukraine, which is actually all about resources. I mean, Putin wants that iron and wants that oil over there.
The iron and the oil.
You got a lot of rich oil deposits, iron deposits in Odessa, Georgia and Ukraine, man. And then you look at Haiti. Haiti is rich in iridium, and iridium that's the metal that's used to make up the inner hardware of your cell phones, your iPads, tablets, and computers and laptops.
Spark plugs too for cars.
Spark plugs too for cars. All that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, you know, they up there talking about this mess called like the Manosphere War and all that. I said, man, you up there worrying about women as the least of your problems. You know, the very smidgen of your problems. That's the least of it.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%.
Because like I explained, explained to some of these black women on the panel a few months ago, Becky and Karen forgot about you neither. They haven't forgot about you. Because when feminism first came out, man, Susan B. Anthony, man, hated black women with a passion.
Yeah.
So, see, the white liberal feminist, man, sees them as Rottweilers, guard dogs, you know, guard dogs and show dogs, man. Because like Hillary Clinton said in the speech, black women on my firewall. And she didn't mean that as a compliment.
She said what?
She said black women on my firewall.
Oh, firewall.
She said that
I didn't hear her say that. When did she say that? What year was that? When she was running?
That was like during her presidential campaign back in the day.
Sheesh.
But see, that's the thing about it, man. These black women up there bragging about they got power and everything. No, that's privilege because they can take it away from you anytime they want to. Because how can it be known as power, man, if it's given to you? That's privilege.
Yeah. That's
because
true.
because when they apply for Section 8 child support and all that, they got to fill out a certain paperwork, and then they got to be notarized. You got to waive your rights, and they got to be notarized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, come on.
Facts, yeah.
And then,
I was reading about that case. What was it, Sanchez or something like versus California or something like that? Where
man, I mean,
they ran up in the house and they said it because she had a pair of shoes that looked like they were bigger than hers. She had a man living there, and they were saying she tried to say it was because you know she had her Fourth Amendment was violated. Like, nah, yo, you took a benefit, so therefore your Fourth Amendment was waived.
Yeah. When you sign for Section 8, even child support, you got no rights.
Yeah,
because they're determined by the court.
Yep.
Because see that's the thing. When black women put men on child support, that means they're on their own.
Yeah.
And the protection that they're seeking is not the protection they're going to be getting.
Yep. 100%.
Because they get that protection from the system just as long as they're useful. I mean, because you look at it, man. I mean, I look at the history of feminism and look at the one who started, Susan B. Anthony. She hated black women with a passion.
Or yeah.
I mean, you know, she didn't want no Negro woman come up to her feminist functions.
Yep. I've been trying to tell people that. Nobody trying to hear that.
Susan B. Anthony was here right now. She said, "No, hey, what are these Negro women up there doing here? Get rid of them." You know,
the harsh reality. Absolutely. I tell people that all the time. As far as the feminism goes, ain't nobody trying to hear that though. You know how it goes, man.
I mean, because you know, feminism is a mental disorder based on the misapplication and misunderstanding of social engineering.
Yep.
Because feminism is a hustle, a con game for these white women to play on black women and other races of women. They didn't have Hispanic women in mind and Asian women in mind neither. I mean, you know. I mean, who's the black woman's main competition? Women, especially white women of other races.
Yeah, well.
And then they try to say that no, we're not your competition, sister. They are. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's a whole lot to it, man. It's just so many different levels of society, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then it's sort of like playing those video games when you try to defeat the different level bosses. Once you go up to the seventh level boss, you got to defeat the 8th level boss. And then it's sort of like Sword Art Online, the anime movie.
Yeah.
The anime Sword Art Online. When they went up to the 7th level, they had to go ahead and defeat the 8th level boss and the 9th level boss. So you're always going to have to deal with another boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why that's like you said, this is an ongoing thing. Sovereignty is an ongoing thing, man.
It's always something.
You really got to re-educate yourself on a daily basis. Because like Sly and the other brother said, like Bad will say, they change that stuff, man, every 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Every 6-7 years.
A lot of stuff now, a lot of definitions and stuff changed. I had looked in the IRS code under, I think it was, what the hell was it? I think it was the definition of alien or something like that, and they changed it.
Right.
Like United States person includes U.S. national. I was like, yo, because I actually knew a gentleman that used to call himself a U.S. national. I was like, yo, IRS code says you a U.S. person. You know what I mean? They changed it. I think it had to be
And
the
then why they
last
call
2
black
years.
folks, and why they calls black folks resident aliens. Think about it.
I mean,
Resident aliens.
Yeah.
Because we were here on this continent before they set up the United States of America Incorporated. So the United States government is not a landmass, it's a corporation.
Yep. You're residing with the corporation, right? But see, the thing about it is, if only a black person, a dead entity, can reside. If you're just Aboriginal or indigenous, you don't reside with anything. That would make you a non-resident alien. You know what I mean?
Okay, because actually these Aboriginals that came over here, they were the Asians and Vikings, man, that mixed in with the native melanated folks. They're already here for millions of years, man.
The Bering Strait you're talking about.
Even when the Africans came over here, man, there was already black people here. When Africans came over here.
Well, they were here when the Moors came over to trade with the people who were quote unquote indigenous, and they intermingled with the women and stuff like that. And a lot of the Moors were very dark-skinned people, and they look like what people would call Africans now. So when they intermingled, of course, naturally, the children are going to look like them. So you create a community of mulatto or darker-skinned men and women. Then that you have it in the pocket.
And then the thing about the Spanish,
how long the trade went for that. It probably was going on for a long time.
Hey man, these Spanish conquistadors, they describe these Native Americans as having like kinky hair, broad nose, thick lips, and black skin. This is how the conquistadors described the Native Americans that they found off the coast of Florida, Virginia, and all that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So that Native American look that they saw from like the 1800s, they came in with white folks, so they're mixing in with the melanated Native American population.
Yep.
So these Cherokee were up there enslaving their own melanated brothers and sisters. These mulatto
I tell people
Cherokee.
that too. A lot of those slave owners was they was Indians, quote unquote. It was Indian
Native Americans
tribes or whatever. Yep. Yeah, a lot
and
of
see,
them
the Cherokee was one of the first civilized tribe to do this. Now the Choctaw didn't play that mess. Neither did the Blackfoot or the Creek. They didn't play that.
Kelly, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about RH negatives?
Man, that's some bureaucratic academic bullshit. I mean, they try to say you might have some monkey in you, man, to take your rights away and shit. Yeah, like they try to get you to say you're African American when the Africans over there in Africa don't reclaim us. Yep. That'll make no sense.
Ghana, right?
I mean, hey, like I said, it doesn't matter the color of your skin; it matters what tribe you belong to.
Yes, sir. You hit the nail on the head.
Because the term race is only a few hundred years old. The word race is not even 1,000 years old, man. It's only a few hundred years old. Because in ancient times, man, people describe themselves as nationalities, tribes, and all this stuff. Peoples.
Absolutely. Let me get to my man Sean. What up, Sean? What's on your mind, G?
Hey, Sean, what's up, man?
What's happening? What's happening with you guys, man?
What's good?
Hey, chilling, man.
Yep, I just wanted to get on here, man. Tell y'all appreciate the knowledge, man. I just want to let y'all know y'all words ain't going unheard, man.
Thank you for tuning in, man.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Yeah,
I try to tune in every week I can, man, for real. Get this information y'all kicking, man. Y'all really doing it justice, man. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Thank you for listening, man. Absolutely. Y'all will keep me going, man. Absolutely. Guys like Mac Bone coming on and educating me. That's what keeps me going. Learning and teaching, man. You know what I
mean? Man. These dudes with masks up there worried about these women.
Man.
As that, man, there's some people called
about in the books or whatever.
Yes,
yeah, man.
Yep. Definitely appreciate it too, man.
No doubt, man. Thank you for tuning in again. Cash Luciano says Rod Hayes be talking about the conquistadors.
Yeah, man. When these conquistadors first came in, man, they saw the Native Americans, man, saw the Native Americans, man, try to call them Africans and Indians, man, because they up there got lost trying to get the Indian shit, like this with Columbus.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Somebody said he stopped in he actually stopped what was the first island it wasn't here. What was the first island he stopped Mac?
I think it was somewhere in the West Indies, man. Somewhere in the West Indies.
Was it the West Indies? I thought it was like I thought it was one of those. What was it, Dominican Republic or something like that?
Yeah, that's where he first stopped at.
Okay.
And that's where he saw black folks.
Right.
Melanated indigenous folks, man.
Yeah. I figured that. Okay. All right, people. We already answered that.
Because if you look at it, man, even our biological phenotypes are different from the Africans over there in Africa, man. You know.
Yeah, so I had to get rid of somebody. All right, Rh negative blood is from Nephilim.
Nephilim. Well, actually, man, the Nephilim is us. we're the Nephilim, man.
Word. All right, so
because we did some things in ancient times we shouldn't have done a long time ago. The elders warned us, said not to do it. And hey, and what did they say? You're gonna be enslaved by what you created. That's what's happening now, man. And guess what? Lucifer's Illuminati's know this stuff, man. They know this.
Cash Luciano said he said they look like us, but they not us.
Well, I mean, hey, the blood is in us. I mean, because think about it. Why are we so treated different from the other races of people like the Asian, East Indian, and the Caucasus? Think about it.
I'll be honest,
hey, man. Because every time I try to research our beginning, it's a question mark.
Facts. I think it's because a lot of us don't even know who the hell we are, man. And when you don't know who you are, you can get taken advantage of so much easier. Like, if you don't know who you are, you can be told who they want you to be, and then they can give you a whole set of rules you got to follow. You feel me? So, like, to me, it's like, not knowing your ancestry, your history, or your lineage, you don't know what direction to move in. And when you're given a direction to move, that might be a false direction. It's always going to be a negative situation for you.
All right, they like to say that we're 3/5 human. But guess what? We're 2/5 superhuman then. We're 2/5 supernatural then. Because look at all the things I tried to do against us,
I believe that
man.
legitimately, bro. I believe that 100%. I do.
I mean, like with the alcohol stuff they put in the food. I mean, they bombard us every day with toxic occult warfare.
And we still awakening. Wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
And then you look at this black girl magic stuff, which is really stupid, man. Because in order for magic to happen, man, you can have the balance of the masculine principle, the feminine principle, and the physical principle. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Like the simple principle of Tehuti, right? Gender, masculine, feminine, and from there comes what? Manifestation. You can't have the unconscious without the conscious.
That's true.
Because the thing about magic, man, magic is the proper understanding of what's going on around you. The seen and the unseen, man.
That's true. It says that in Islam.
Yeah, man.
What's up?
And that's the thing about Islam, Christianity, and all those three religions. They go back to the almond priesthood, because it said in Malachi, the Lord God is the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N. Yeah. The Lord God is the Son of Shield. They're talking about Amun Ra. It says in Hosea, I'm the Lord your God from the land of Egypt that brought you out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about no Yahweh, man. We're talking about Amun Ra, man. They say amen in the Christianity. They say Amin, A-M-I-N. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They say the Amen in Hebrew and English, and the Amin, A-M-I-N. And then you look at the 6-pointed stars on those Muslim mosques in Arabia. That's a sun symbol, man. A sun symbol.
Hey, Mac, let me get to this comment real fast, man. You dropping bars.
Go ahead.
I found out some of my ancestors died in the Devil's Punch Bowl, Mississippi, and then the history gets clouded. Mm-hmm. Isn't that town that flooded and then like the lake was like haunted or something like that?
Yeah.
And then when people try to sail across it, their boats always sink, and there's been records of people being pulled under by like a arm or hand or a bony hand. I've heard stories.
That's Choctaw ancestral land right there, man.
Is that what
Mississippi used to be one of the provinces of the Choctaw Republic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened there, Mac?
Hey, man, they did something they weren't supposed to do, and now the ancestors want vengeance. I mean, look what happened with Poltergeist, right? This dude up there built a property over Native American sacred ground and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why they were tripping. Yeah. And say, hey, man, it's like you told them, you moved the tombstones, but you didn't move the bodies. You idiot. Because when she was being drowned in that, now this is the 1980s version of Poltergeist right here. She was been singing in the swimming pool, man, and then skeletons came up, bodies. I mean, look at that movie Wolfen with Albert Finney. Hey man, you know, like the Native American song tells, hey man, to them, you are the savage. And those Wolven men were like ancient shape-shifting warriors, man, protecting their sacred ground. So in order for the wolves not to kill him, he had to bust down that scale model. That scale model where they was trying to build a sacred ground. And then the wolves let them alone.
Yeah, when people are in tune with nature, man, you can do a lot of things. Like you can move water, mountains can move. It's a lot of powerful stuff that goes on, man. And we just lost our way. We gotta get back on track with that.
Yeah, look at nature. It comes from the word neter or neteru.
That's
Neter
true.
meaning God, neteru
True,
meaning
brother.
spiritual entities, man. Right there. God and nature, one and the same, man. And then like Albert Pike talked about that magic is just a understanding and application of nature and its laws. You know, the dude that written Morals and Dogma. And I'm from Arkansas, man, and they got like a big monument to him on 7th and Scott in Little Rock, bro. You know, the Masonic building. All sorts of places named after Albert Pike. And that was a bad Luciferian brother, man. I mean, there's even levels to that, to when it comes to the occult. And then you got some of these YouTube congregants think they know what they're talking about. Man, y'all haven't been initiated, man. I mean, there are times, man, with Sly ask what lodge they belong to, man. They don't understand what he up there saying when they ask that question.
He said, "What?
What lodge they belong to?"
What would
you know, I said, man. Yeah.
What you say, Mac? What he belonged to? Would you say?
Yeah. When he ask you what lodge you belong to,
what lodge
they don't understand that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You should definitely know what
yeah,
lodge.
Man.
If you with it, you should definitely know what lodge you belong to. I would think anyway.
I mean, when I try to talk to some of these brothers about the deep stuff, man, the real deep stuff, they still want to talk about the women. I said, okay, then I'll just go ahead and put my Mac phone hat on. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk about the 3 degrees of game, the sex, money, and the power.
Right.
The 3 degrees of game, sex, money, and power. You focus on the power, you magnetize the sex and the money too. You know,
that's simple.
That's what I learned from the streets, man.
Carl Trump.
I mean, because see the thing about it. Yeah.
Let me read this. Cash, that was a messed up story. What they did to the people down there in the United States. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of black melanated indigenous Americans massacred over the centuries, man. I mean, that's why even the Dakota Lakota, they were called the Sioux, right? Sioux in French means sun worshiper. People who worship the sun. Yeah, the Sioux.
Wow.
In French, it means sun worshiper.
I did not know that.
I mean, I got this thing called the sun dance, right? The sun dance.
That's true. That's true.
That same order they do around the pyramid.
So the Sioux tribe basically means sun worshiping tribe, then.
Yeah, sun worshipers, man.
That's crazy because when I was doing research on the indigenous Americans, I had found out that I came across that the word Sioux had meant like drunk or something, like it was a derogatory term. But since you said sun worshiper, I can see that too because a lot of tribes here were sun worshipers. A lot of them were.
Yeah.
So you're right about that. I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, you look at the totem of the fox and Choctaw, that goes to Anubis.
You know, hey Mac, you ever done any sun gazing?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that recharges my pineal gland a bit, and also my solar plexus. Especially when I practice active meditation in the sun.
Do you ever
active meditation in the sun? Huh?
Do you ground your feet to the soil while you do it?
Yeah, I ground my feet in a horse stance. You know, do that Taoist microcosmic orbit in the sun, to where the prime source of chi comes from the sun. So the thing about being a Taoist master, when you have the full alignment between the primal chi that comes from the sun, the chi from the earth, and the chi from within your own solar plexus. And Taoism, that comes from the mystery schools, not only from Africa, but from my own mix, man. It's all the same school, man.
Yeah. What up, Jay? What's going on?
Everybody got the same signs, but they just interpret it different ways.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, if you look at the mystery schools, man, it's actually not only a international type of thing, it's an interdimensional type thing as well. Because you look at Star Wars, the Jedi, right? You have the Jedi, not just made up of humans, but different alien species, different dimensional entities made up the Jedi. That's the mystery schools right there.
Yep, same thing with Harry Potter though too.
Yeah, you know, Harry Potter been taught by some elves, a phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different dimensional beings. Even, you know, like that guy that rescued him was like was a giant. You know, a giant that rescued him in the first one. Yeah,
I feel like they had all the beings that, you know, dwell this earth. You know, they kind of show them in them type of shows or whatever.
Man, I mean, even unicorns is mentioned in the Bible.
That's in one of those books, though, isn't it? One of those books were pulled out, right? Yeah.
Oh man, there's many books pulled out, man. The Gospel of Barnabas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene,
yeah,
the Acts of Solomon, the Book of Jasher, the Book of Enoch.
Yep, Apocrypha.
Man,
Hey, let me read
325 AD, Council of Nicaea, man.
Let me read Carl's comment real quick. The people won't even eat fruit from the trees down there in Mississippi, the Devil's Punch Bowl, because they knew what was used for the fertilizer to feed the tree.
Hey, the blood and the bodies of the victims left there.
Damn.
In the blood.
I mean, like that demon said in the Angel TV series, man, blood is the original magic. And you look at Leviticus chapter 17, blood is the life force thereof. And the Hebrew word for life force is ruach, which means soul.
That's true. That's the reason why what some people do when they work with entities, sometimes if they're not going to offer anything, they offer their blood.
Yeah.
Entities that they work with.
I mean, like I said in that movie, Hellboy, the Sword of Stone, Hellboy, Blood and Iron. You know, like Hellboy's dad said, they want terrible payments for their gifts. Then you look at that cartoon that showed the Iron Maiden, and the chains where they were stretching the bodies, all this stuff. So they did with the Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft.
What's your thoughts on just? I heard like our blood send frequencies too, so they kind of use that in a sense.
Hey man, I mean, hey, that's why there's supposed to be a new blood type coming out called the U blood type.
A U blood type.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard about from the people of the Republic of Mentellect, from Nuba Makares.
Oh wow, I ain't heard of them guys in a minute. The Mentellect,
yeah, man,
they got some knowledge. They do. They're blessed with that knowledge, man.
Yeah, man, because it's all about the different blood types. Where you got the A blood type, which is like the warrior class, the special forces class. You got the AB blood type, which is I think you know, police, law enforcement, whatever. You know, B, which is entertainment or some sort of stuff, and then the O, which is the ruler. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the thing about, you know, they even have like a book on the blood types, but see, that doesn't really apply to us because we're carbon-based folks. Any person that's a descendant of the sun folk is carbon-based. Because, I mean, your melanin is the carbon that absorbs the power of the sun. Like the black capstones on the pyramid. You are that pyramid, man. The capstone is your pineal gland, and the inner sanctum of the pyramid is your solar plexus.
Yeah. So, Joe, what are you talking about, man? I just saw you pop up just now. Hold on a second. I'll let you in, man.
Oh, Joe? Okay.
Yeah. What's up, Joe? You back in, man?
Hey,
you gotta
Joe,
turn
what's
the
up,
sound
again,
out
man?
in the background, bro. Like it was too loud. You had like an echo or something.
Hey, man, I apologize.
Yeah. What's up? What's on your mind?
Hey, man. I really apologize about that, man. I'm on 2 devices right now, man.
Okay.
Here's the thing, man. I wrote the book God Answers Prayers, and I apologize. I'm just chilling tonight. It's Sunday night and stuff like that. But so I've been listening to everything you guys say and going back to exactly what is the origins of everything that I have to say right now. Everything we've always learned, you know. Mark 11:24. It says, believe in God. Before that, of course, it says, for whatever you ask in prayer from God, believe you received it and it will be given to you.
It says in Proverbs
The
that the law
Bible
of the
is
wise
always referred
found
to.
the life to depart from the snares of death.
Let me tell you one story.
Yeah.
I had a situation where I lost everything that I had. It was so deep that it was easy to think about nothing, like a homeless person.
All right.
Okay.
When I had nothing left, I had everything but the focus to God. Nothing left but the focus to God. When I prayed to God ultimately, I saw the impossible change. I really saw the impossible change, the most impossible way.
Okay. Nice.
I literally saw the impossible change. I'm telling you. I'm hearing my echo right now.
Yeah, it's still echoing.
That's just
bro.
all that I have to say.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for letting me back in here tonight.
Hey, Joe, let me
I've
give you
listened
3
to
things
everything
to
that
get
you
to on
guys
your way
said.
off, man. Hey, Joe, hold on a second. Let me drop some stuff for you, man. Here's 3 things you need to keep in
It
mind.
goes back to the very deepest and the very basics
No.
of everything that we
This
were
is something that
seeing.
Matt came up with himself.
Everything
Simplicity.
refers
Yeah,
back to the
simplicity.
Bible again, even the occult.
Okay.
Yo, Joe, he's trying to tell you something, man.
Let me give you some jewels to help
No
you on your
problem,
way.
man.
Silence is my prayer. Meditation is my altar. Simplicity is my enlightenment. And the word of God is not a book. It's the soul, the God within you. It's the soul
Gotcha,
force,
man.
the life
Gotcha.
force. That's what the word of God is. It's the God force within you.
I respect all of you.
No doubt.
That's
Thank
all
you for
good,
doing
man.
that, man.
It's all
We
good.
respect you too.
I respect all of you.
Thank you. All right.
You too, man.
So
That's interesting that he mentioned that thing about the Holy Bible. It comes from that Greek word helios, biblos, which means books of the sun.
Yeah,
The sun books.
I agree.
It
I
goes
think
back to
he
Amun
might
Ra
have been
priesthood.
hitting that Hennessy or something, man. Like
Hey,
respect. Good
hey,
good
Amun
looking
Ra
out for the
priesthood,
words of
man.
wisdom, man. But
Helios, biblos.
put that bottle down, bro. Put the bottle down.
He couldn't spit it out at first.
He cool though. I mean, he came in here on some peaceful shit. You feel me?
Hey, think about it. You know, like this homeboy told me that there was this exalted master that approached the scheduled assembly, and this is what he said: having all sorts of knowledge not be compared to giving up secret for anything, which is the best of all things. Mine is not a several kinds. There is no true doctrine which can be put into words.
Right.
There's no more needs to be said, and then the exalted master left the assembly.
Boom. Bars.
because like, hey, like I tell the so-called pimps and players in the space, life is the master teacher of game, because the source of game is life.
Real talk.
It's true.
Facts. 100%.
And hey, truth recognizes everything because truth existed before everything else.
Yep, it don't even got to be spoken.
Yeah, in the beginning, the words were with God.
Carl Trombley says, A6, the story about the Devil's Punch Bowl, United States soldiers slaughtered melanated people in Mississippi and buried their bodies and planted fruit trees on top of them. Yeah, that's what it was. I knew it had something to do with property or something like that. But I do remember
that's what this
there was a
song, The Strange
massacre.
Fruit, talks about,
It was
right?
flooded too, right? I think it flooded
Yeah.
too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the area will flood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some
that's
people said right there.
That's that song about Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit. That song that she had back in the day. Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit.
Yeah.
That's what she talks about, man. The innocent melanated people murdered in the South, not just Mississippi, all over during Jim Crow South and everything, hung up on trees and everything. The strange fruit that she talks about.
Absolutely.
I mean, because even back in the days of slavery and Jim Crow, man, there were like black babies fell to the gators, man.
I heard about that Gator bait. That was actually a brand of what the hell was it? It was a brand of something called Gator bait. I can't remember what it was, but they had a picture of throwing the melanated baby in the water. But yeah, it's not a game out there. This shit was crazy.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Hey, that thing about that Bible that he mentioned, the first CIA code book that they use is the Bible. I mean, the motto of the CIA is John 8:32. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Boom.
So they guess how they keep you enslaved. They keep the truth from you.
Yeah.
I'm saying, my
Right
man
there.
Jimmy says Joel be drunk. He's put the My man had the Jim Beam in his hand. Like, praise God.
I mean, you think about those Exorcist movies, man. I mean,
gotta give him a little breather.
Hey,
yeah, it's all good.
He came in here on some peaceful shit. He cool.
Yeah, he good.
Yeah, it's all good. But see, it's interesting thing about that Bible and religion and everything. You look at that demonic possession, that mostly happens in the Catholic Church, man.
Yo, listen,
and
it's
then you look at the way that he wears that hat. That's Dagon right there.
Ones, yo, you
the
look
fish
at
god.
You can
That's
look
Dagon.
at the what is it? With the Dark Ages, man, and see how dirty the
Yeah.
Catholic Church was. I mean, shit, the priest was the only one who was allowed to read, to be able to read in Latin.
That's true.
That was the only one. The priest was the only one who could read in Latin, bro. And the books, most of the books were put in Latin. And if you even read Latin and you were not a priest, they would kill you and then burn your body. Not only would they kill you, they would burn your body after you were dead. Like, bruh, what the? It's not a game.
See, a lot of those women that were killed during those Inquisition trials, burned at the stake, they were not witches. They were free-thinking women.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I heard
they wouldn't have took the jab. You feel me? They would have been the ones that didn't want to take the jab.
Basically, if they didn't understand with your culture or whatever, you was basically an enemy to them.
Yeah, they talked about in that Da Vinci Code, man, the Malefice Maleficarum, the witch's hammer.
Shit.
And then when you look at the Da Vinci Code, the foundation of the church is Mary Magdalene, which goes back to who? ISIS.
Mm-hmm. You got the mother and
what's the true Trinity? The Father, the Mother, the Child, which is the Heavenly Father, the Holy Mother, and the Divine Seed.
Mm-hmm.
But then what did the Greeks and Romans do? They replaced that with the Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit,
yeah, they did. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
if you read the Apocrypha of John, it really explains that a lot better. The Apocrypha of John can really tear down the foundation of Christianity right then and there, just that one book itself.
Has anybody on the panel read this book called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ by Eliphas Levi?
I have not.
No.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's a little bit over our heads.
Yeah,
I have not read that book
in my 20s, man. Yeah.
My man he got busy with the books.
Yeah, man.
Joe, the reason why you got Buddha Bros, because like you were drunk.
A few books that you was reading.
Say what?
I said I want to ask Mac like what was a few books, because I did want to read some, but I just want to
Amen. The good book to start you on your cult journey is read the Kybalion by the Three Initiates, which are really three black men trained by Pascal W. Randolph.
Yeah.
And also the Cliff Notes to the Kybalion, Ancient Future by Wayne B. Champion, where it explains the 7 principles on a deeper level.
Yeah, let me grab my pen.
Yeah. Well, he got books for you to read. You gonna be writing for a minute. My man got hella books. Shit, I'm behind like hell. He referred me to like 2 books. I'm still ain't even got a chance to read it yet.
All right, can you say it again for me, Mac?
Yeah, the Kybalion, that's Kybalion by Three Initiates.
Three Initiates.
That's about the 7 principles of truth, which is the 7 principles of mental transmutation, mental alchemy. That's not only the basis for the occult science, but it's also the basis for psychiatry and psychology and psychotherapy.
Right.
Yeah, man. And then you got the other book that helps explain it further by this black author named Wayne B. Chandler, Ancient Future.
Wayne B. Chandler.
Yeah, his last name is Chandler. Yeah, and he really breaks down those 7 principles.
Yeah, I think I seen a little bit on it. Well, I was reading the Warrior manuscript. You ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of that.
No. Say it again.
The Warrior manuscript?
The Warrior manuscript. It's basically like a weird book, like he said, about the medieval times, and it just speak on like the stuff that they did or whatever.
Like the stuff that the Knights Templars did back then, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, that movie National Treasure talks about that, man.
I think
have y'all seen National Treasure with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, I saw that.
No,
hey, man, I like that.
Like supposedly it's like supposedly
they show that ring. Yeah.
Excuse me. supposedly they got like Egyptian statues and stuff up under the ground in tunnels and shit like that.
And that tripped me out, man. That the white dudes were hugging the Egyptian statue near the end of that movie. When they got in their second chain.
Like
statue,
Indiana Jones too. I did watch that, and they had a little similar thing to that too.
Yeah. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when they talk about the Ankara stones that shine up and everything.
Yeah.
And they was able to defeat the guy when he understood the power of the stones and recited that chant that the holy man in that village taught. You know, like he said in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, I'm taking the skull back because that's what the skull told me to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the skull told me to do.
Cash Luciano says Ulysses S. Grant took our land back for the Union Army headquarters.
Of course.
Yeah, when it comes to the South, man.
Hey man, Jimmy Bennett must be one of Sly's people, man.
Joel is the Unabomber. Them glasses, Thomas.
Come on.
Yo, y'all wild tonight,
yo. My boy tonight, man.
Y'all wild tonight, bro. Y'all just going off, man. Y'all don't go off like this. Yo, y'all gotta be.
But see, here's the thing, man. If you really read that book, if you really do your best to read that Bible as an enlightened being, a being of enlightenment.
Speaking on.
When you read all the books of that Bible, the ones that are still in there, the ones that are taken out.
Yeah.
If you learn how to read that as an enlightened being with your third eye and your solar plexus open.
Yeah.
It's gonna reveal some stuff to you, man, because it talked about the vegetarianism in there, talk about the fasting, talk about the meditation. It talks about the kingdom of God being not in word but in power. 1 Corinthians 4:20. So it shows right there that the word of God is not a book. It says the kingdom of God is not in word but in power. 1 Corinthians 4:20.
You are the book.
Yep. And those are the books that were taken out, right?
Hey, you remember that movie? You remember that movie with David Carradine called The Circle of Iron? When that dude was up there trying to show that book, he up there came. It's a pretty good movie, The Circle of Iron. He defeated all those guys, right? Went to that island. Opened up the book. You know what that book revealed? Nothing but mirrors. It was nothing but mirrors.
Mirrors.
So it shows that the knowledge he was seeking for was within him all along. And and the dude wanted to replace him, man. He up there laughed, nah, man, I'm gonna be like this other guy and started teaching because, like the dude told him, some decided not to stay on the island, they decided to go ahead and teach others and train. And that Circle of Iron was supposed to be like a tribute to Bruce Lee, since they stole Kung Fu from him. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Lee was the original author of the Kung Fu series. Because according to Luke 17:21. It also says in the Gospel of Thomas, the kingdom of the Father is spread all over the earth, yet men do not see it. Gospel of Thomas. And it also says in the Tao Te King, the book of the way of his power, that says that sages do everything, travel to everywhere by being. It says without looking out the window, without going out your door, you will know all you need to know about the way of heaven. I've been there with Taoism ever since 1987, bro.
Yeah, I love all that stuff, man, because it's so deep, bro. You can just interpret it so many different ways, man.
Yeah,
and when you hear stuff like that, depending on where you are in your life, you might interpret it differently. Like you tell a young man that, he'll be like, "Oh, it don't make no sense." But you tell somebody that who's like, and 40 or something,
like my age, 52 years old. Yeah. It's totally deeper, man.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Like the same words can be interpreted so many different ways, man. It's crazy.
Your mindset changes the older you get.
Absolutely.
You're going to interpret.
I mean, like you got a lot of people on YouTube trying to redefine terms that have been defined by the street called simp and everything.
Yes.
They said if you get married, you're a simp. If you give gifts to a woman that's worthy of the gifts, that's simp. I said, man, y'all Negroes lost your mind.
Y'all lost.
Yeah, they lost the concept of life, man.
They lost in the sauce, man. They lost in the sauce, bro.
My man Cash Luciano says, have any of y'all heard Red Black Riots Science? Have you read?
No, I haven't read that. I haven't heard of that.
No, I ain't heard of that either.
He said, is it Black Root Science or Black Riot Science?
Some of that stuff you be saying, Mac, it do go over our heads, but I'm catching on.
When you experience things in this life, it becomes clear to you. That's why I always say, man, life is the real master teacher.
Facts.
And then to bring it further to people that be talking about game, Life is the real master teacher of game because life is the source of game.
100%.
1000%.
Because you look at Ron Wills, what he ever talks about in those books, sexual chemistry, nice guys and players, and meeting attractive women. This is stuff that he learned growing up and everything through experience.
Right.
Even from the women in his life, And I learned stuff about game from like my younger brother and from other people out on the street, man, taught me about stuff. But these dudes that be on YouTube, man, up there complaining about women 24/7, man, they need to get off the goddamn porch, man. Get off that phone, get off that laptop experience life, bro.
Yeah, real talk. Got accustomed to that keyboard.
Man.
Keyboard warriors, man.
It's sad because that's all they talk about now. They just be complaining about females this and females that. Like y'all have not gotten no pussy. That's really what it is.
The bottom line.
And the thing is, man, the more that's why I put that hashtag thirsty for water only, man. Thirsty for water only.
Right.
That's one of my new Mac mattress from the Mac Bible. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, the Mac Bible. Yeah,
I like that.
Somebody else was telling me about the Black Root Science book Tuesday, as a matter of fact, and they were saying the book basically defines. It was saying that my man was explaining it. He said basically that the voice was actually supposed to be, quote unquote, the devil or whatever, Satan or whatever you interpret it, the voice that was supposed to be God. He wasn't allowed to come inside the garden, so he was basically telling them all this stuff like, I'm a jealous God, you can't worship any other gods. And the way he was explaining it was the Adam and Eve were themselves the gods, but he was telling them he was the God. It was a lot, but the whole Black Root Science thing, he was saying that it breaks it down in that way. And
if you look at the book of Isaiah and the Revelations,
one more thing,
God was one of the same person.
One more thing. He also said that it wasn't Eve that took the fruit. It was actually Adam who took the fruit. I don't know, man. It was deep, though. It was deep.
Yeah.
It was deep.
That whole story convoluted, man.
Yeah.
Both of them ate the fruit. Fuck you mean? Both of them ate it. They both did. It don't make sense to pick one over the other. They both ate it.
That's how I feel.
Hey, man, like I said in that scripture, Isaiah, I, the Lord God, create peace and evil. I create light and darkness. I do all these things. So if it shows you in the Bible that he creates light and darkness and peace and evil, that shows he's one and the same person. I mean, like I said, like there's that old that was saying that fortune and calamity come from the same door.
Right.
And then when you look at Revelations and Isaiah, it says Lucifer is son of the morning star. Let's say Lucifer morning star, and then Jesus said in Revelations he's the morning star. Okay, that's the same dude.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a celestial being with a dissociative personality disorder. I mean,
it's deep out here, bro.
Yeah, I feel like God don't create without balance though anyway. So if it ain't balanced, it ain't naturally created.
Hey, that's what the Tai Chi symbol is all about. The Tao symbol is all about yin and yang.
Yes, sir. Balance.
Yang masculine, yang feminine.
Yeah.
I even broke that down. I even broke that down from Taoism, man. Where you got the yin, which is true femininity, and yang, which is authentic masculinity.
Yeah, balance.
And you gotta have they gotta be in like a balanced frequency to create healthy families, man, and healthy communities, man.
True. That's very true. It can't be one over the other. They both have to work together. Take two to tango, anyway.
That's fact.
But I think that both of these folks, the divesting black females and these black female hating black males, are both stupid, because every time they want to talk bad about each other, they're in each other's panels and chats and all that. You said you say you wanted the best from us. Every time we talking, even when we're not thinking about you, you there, right?
Yeah.
You there.
Point taken.
I mean, and see this thing about the divestors being killed by white dudes ain't nothing new, man. It happened during Jim Crow and stuff, man. Ain't nothing new. It's just these women being stupid and not vetting the dudes that they're dealing with.
Right.
They're not familiar with the nature of the creature that they're dealing with. I mean, hey, like one dude said in Under Siege, hey man, we're dealing with a cruel master. He's been cruel from the beginning, and no matter what you do, he's still gonna be that cruel same asshole. This so-called other persuasion, which I will not name, has been the same for 500 years. He has not changed. He's still the same dude from the Caucasus. So all this mess about, yeah, we're gonna marry up or marry down, that's a bunch of bull stuff. Because at the end of the day, whether it's high value or low value, a trick is still a trick.
Real,
and you know what? Balling is tricking with millions of dollars. Balling is nothing but a rich trick.
All right, Mac. My man Carl Trombley says, check out the book American Holocaust. Just bought it on eBay.
American
We'll be
Holocaust?
reading it soon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember when Sly had on this channel, man, the book about the forgotten history of the forgotten history of the American South, when they talked about the white niggas and the black niggas.
Yeah,
So they said that the white niggas were under
I was
control.
listening to something like that Sunday,
Yeah.
bro. Listen, man. It's crazy. Last Sunday, I was listening to something like that. It was talking about how the Irish and all that. Bro, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit they don't want us to know about that.
It's a lot of Irish down in
Because the
South.
first Negroes in this country was the Italians and the Irish and the Slavic people, man.
And they called the Irish niggers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call them.
Well, the Irish were the first ones to be called nigger anyway.
Yep.
They were the first ones.
How about that? And it's
I
deep,
ain't
man.
know
It's a
that.
whole lot of shit they don't want you to
They didn't start calling us niggas until after 1619.
Yeah.
After 1619.
Oh wow.
But when Sly revealed that information, I think it's called the forgotten cause of the Civil War. The forgotten cause of the Civil War. It talked about how a lot of white folks were enslaved in the South.
That's true.
And then there was one slave master that was ever complained, man, I have a hard time controlling these white niggas than the black niggas. I said, what?
How about that?
I said, what? I said, what?
Oh my god, I gotta see that.
I said, man.
I gotta get ready to tie it up
saying the
tonight,
N-word, man,
fellas.
I'd be laughing, man.
Yes,
I'd be
sir,
laughing. I said, okay.
All right, they
I
say
gotta get ready to
you
tie
said
it
the
up
N-word,
tonight.
you talking about you
I'm tired
too.
as hell. Oh, Mac, hit me out. I gotta get ready to tie it up. I could go on for hours. I definitely could, man, but I gotta work tomorrow. So
I feel you.
I gotta be plugged in tomorrow. But yo, thank you so much for
do
tuning
your
in, everybody,
thing,
man. It's been great, man. Please, everybody, watch your dollars when you're out here dealing with these people, man. Watch who you are paying for consultations with, and some of these dudes are scam artists and frauds. Mac,
right.
thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to have you in. I learned so much when I listened to you talk. Yes, sir.
It's always a blessing to be here, man, to share the knowledge,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you, man.
Thank you for tuning in. Sean, you too, man. You're a student just like I am, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep,
Thank you,
y'all.
sir.
Good to have you, Sean. Good to have you, Allah. It's all
y'all
good.
take care, Mac.
Absolutely. Hey, next Sunday will be the same time, same channel. Meanwhile, it is the Foreign National Born Natural A6. Thank you so much for tuning in. Holler at you later. Peace out.
Peace out. Peace out, yo.
Yes, sir.